The constant at Barstool is Lenny Kravitz. Every blogger has talked about how they wanted to fuck Lenny Kravitz.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network, live back in the studio where I'm happy to be. This is my safe place.
I'm very happy to be back.
You were done with it. You were over it.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people reached their breaking point. Some people had fun with it. Some people...
I had fun with it until I didn't have fun with it.
And then it became like really not fun.
Right. Like,
it was
fast.
like, oh shit, okay. And then I felt almost bad when I was like talking to people like, well, I can do this standing on my head. What's the problem? If they were feeling like I was feeling like a couple months into it, a couple weeks into it, they were probably like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I'm happy you're enjoying yourself, but fuck you. Which is, I guess, something I'm learning as I get older, that not everyone always agrees with me.
No.
Which is I think that's an interesting thing to learn, though, because I do believe that in this business, like trying to grow and make a name and become popular, being like, well, not everyone agrees with me doesn't play. You know what I mean? So like, I'm happy that I did things the way I did for the first 10 years where I was like, this is right, you're wrong, fuck off, all opinions that are not mine are incorrect and you're a pussy. Because I think it got us places, it got me places. But now, a little bit older, I'm like, well, you know, especially once, I think it's...
What are we talking about right now?
Life in general.
We're just talking about life as a whole?
Life in general, and then leading into the Barstool the drama, because I think when I was younger, I hadn't like gone through anything in life, so I had no reason to ever think that like my gut was wrong and that my thoughts were wrong. Everything fucking worked out, like always. Literally everything I ever did worked out. And then, when you're forced to like look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh boy, like misstep there, shouldn't have said that, bad problem there, whatever there, like. All of a sudden you started to think like, all right, I can't like always rely on the old gut here. And so like that applies to content as well. Now, I think that's all different. It goes hand in hand, but I think it's a little different than what happened with that rundown where like, I think that was at a time in Barstool where like we didn't cover any of that kind of shit. We were never talking like anything other than just like goofing around and fucking around, you know?
Absolutely never.
So,
no.
and
because we're probably not the kind of people who should be talking
we
about
shouldn't.
it.
We absolutely shouldn't, but it becomes impossible where, I mean, how could you not talk about this shit?
Right.
I remember, at this point, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever, we had like a weekish time period where we weren't talking about Floyd and protests, and it was like, all right, this is getting silly. Like, we can't be at the forefront of all things internet and not be talking about this. So it's just like the internet changed, and so we had to go that direction, and all of a sudden I'm out of my depth. I'm in over my head talking about shit I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, 4 years ago, I was like, I don't know, what the fuck's Kaepernick doing? This is annoying. I don't fucking care, you know? And
I know
like,
for a fact my gut reaction was, this is dumb. And then it's weird that it was Chaps, but Chaps wrote on a blog about it and was like, "This is what I fought for." And like my reaction and my thought process of it changed within like 15 minutes. I feel like, but it was like my gut was like, "Why you do that?" And it's like you learn 15 seconds of stuff. Like, okay, that makes sense.
There's two types. I think what we came to know is that like Colin Kaepernick like believes deeply about this. I thought it was like You're another headache athlete. Like, you're just causing drama for the sake of causing drama. And then it's like, no, man, this is like the most important fucking crusade I've ever been on. And by the way, worked. Like, best protest ever. Totally changed my opinion on protesting, changed my opinion on everything. And people keep saying like, oh, like 4 years later, his opinion's going to be different. It was probably similar to you. It was probably like 4 days later. I was like, oh, shit. But you
you see that, you're like, oh god.
When I saw it, I hate when people are like, I don't even know who that person was. I mean, I know who that person was. That person's the same fucking like loudmouth Mick that I am today. I know what I am. But I was like, oh, I don't remember ever being on the other side of this one. Yeah. That's what I mean. I've given a zillion takes, and you can show me videos. I can read blogs back of myself and be like, that was funny. I don't remember writing that. Or like that was cringeworthy. I don't remember saying that. And I might have changed my opinion like 5 minutes later if I learned like the facts of the matter. But I've been working on this theory that, I've been saying when the mob comes to try to cancel you, you shouldn't bend down to them. You should, if you want to apologize, you did something wrong, fine. But if you're doing it for the Jamel Hills of the world and the mob, not great. if you also don't apologize just because you have a bunch of diehard fans who say you shouldn't apologize, that's the same shit. It's like politics. It's like left and right. It's the same thing where you're being persuaded to act or say things that you don't believe in. So I'm never gonna like bow to the mob. I'm never gonna just like cater and pander to my fans. I'm gonna say what I think needs to be said. I think that fan base, that group of fans, are people who like they don't want to apologize because they go to their fucking shitty cube job and they hate their boss that they have to kneel down before, and they hate their coworkers they have to work with. And so they're like, I don't want to apologize. You guys don't have to apologize, so you shouldn't. It's like, no, that's not right either.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I completely disagree with that. I thought that was something that was sorely lacking in our response as a whole as a company. I don't think
not great.
It was. I mean, I think like top to bottom, I think we did an F- job from everyone involved. Now, although look, I'm gonna give you a little credit here. I liked your blog a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, I read yours. Yours did. I thought it was what happened with all that was gonna need a good response from Barstool, and I thought everyone, almost to a person, became the worst version of themselves. Where like the part where you're like, that's not what you needed to be, man. Where Dave did it, I thought Dan kind of did it. I thought Dave does. I've never called Dan middleman Dan, but I thought Dan's response was kind of like a lot of words to say nothing. I thought Erica kind of did it like, whoa, that was before me kind of deal. I thought Willie and Brandon, obviously, I thought that you can say that word if you want, but I thought you put your other coworkers in a horrible position because now they didn't even know that was the headline of the blog or the headline of the podcast, and now they have to defend being on that show. I thought everyone dropped the ball.
Yeah, no, it was not great, and that's like more fucking evidence.
It was just kind of like there wasn't an I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, your had a blog. I'm changed, but like, I don't think it's hard to say because again, you don't have to apologize to the mob. I don't think you're apologizing.
Yeah, no.
You're apologizing to who,
Tyler, to Willie, to the fans who are like him.
Also to me,
right?
like not me. Like I'm talking about if that was me in the video. And guess what? This will happen to me at some point because I've definitely said things that I'm gonna regret because I fucking say things I regret all the time.
Right.
And if I saw that video of me, I'd be like, God, I'm sorry that person existed.
Yeah.
Like I'm
when you look at pictures of yourself.
to anyone else. I'm being as selfish as possible here.
Right.
I'm sorry to me.
Right.
Like I'm sorry I acted like that.
It's like when you look at pictures of Feidelberg in high school.
Right.
The fucking the puka necklace. Oh no.
It was a fucking shamrock, and you want to know a real weird tie-in with that? The only reason I don't have that shamrock right now is because a cop snuck up behind me with a knife and cut it off.
What?
I was going to jail. I was getting arrested for underage drinking. Like
you can't have
and you can't have it. It was like you had to tie it on,
right?
And I was like, I can't take this off. And the cop was like, inside was like, it's fine. And the woman who'd arrested me snuck up behind me with like a switchblade and was like, fuck this, and cut it off.
There was one cop who was like, yeah, whatever, let this kid slide. There was another person who was like, do you see that asshole? No, we're sticking it to him in every fucking way possible.
She was the absolute worst. Did me the biggest favor of my life, though.
Big time. You should thank that lady. Yeah, man. I mean, it was, I think there was a lot of like, there was a lot of half measures all around that you say one thing and then you undo it.
We got a lot of Barstool, the best company in the world in the work or whatever, David.
I'm so sick of that, man.
A lot of emails like we're the best. And like we are. I agree with that. But just sometimes that just isn't what has to be said.
And it doesn't mean like 100% of the time.
Right.
And you can have a screw up that's a big one. And I mean, I think the biggest difference for me was like when 4 years ago, whatever that was, we're like, I don't think Willie and Tyler and none of those guys were here, I don't think. So when I now have, it sounds like so stupid that I would need like my own personal experience to really get it, but I did. And when those guys are telling me like, this is a pain in my ass when you act like this. I'm like, well, I'm fucking sorry. And if you can't say that, I mean, then you're just being a jerk. And like, and then I extend that further. It's like, if there's any fans who feel that way too, if there are fans who are cut from the same cloth, then I'm sorry to those people. And the mob and the people who hate, like I'm not sorry to them. I'm not capitulating to them. But the people who I know I directly affect, like, yeah, my bad.
Right. I was a dick. I'm sorry.
And that's not like a novel concept. Like there were some people who were like, thank you for that. Like, okay, you're welcome for fucking like owning up to really fucking somebody over. Okay, I'll take it, I guess. I don't know.
But it was, and I want to give you too much credit because I avoided reading your blog until like an hour ago because I knew we were going to talk about it.
Oh yeah,
and I just didn't want to read it because I didn't want to be disappointed, and I wasn't.
Well, good. I'm happy. I mean, that does mean a lot, though. It's like I tried to be as I do. We've gone back and forth about cancel culture forever, and I think that. By the way, I think a lot of people are coming around to what we were saying. Like, who's even being canceled? Who list the people who have been canceled? It's like R. Kelly and fucking Bill Cosby and what's it called? Harvey Weinstein, who are all just criminals.
Right.
They're not. They're getting canceled by the police.
Yeah. Yeah. Rapist.
Yeah.
You're a rapist.
Right. Everyone else is like, there's consequences. Now it's almost getting cliche in the other direction. Everyone's saying there's consequences for your actions, which is true, but they're all just kind of becoming like sound bites. And I think, I think that anybody like trying to get you fired is lame. I think anybody, when Jemele Hill has her own issues the same day, like within an hour, she's got.
What happened with her?
She was the one coming at us within like an hour.
She was?
Yeah, she was. Well, she like quote tweeted it and was like, she said, consider the source, which I think is funny. It's like, yeah, consider the source. You're talking to a bunch of fucking clowns. We don't know what we're talking about. If we, when it's like Fox News is a problem because you're supposed to be smart and CNN's supposed to be unbiased. It's like, no, yeah, that's a problem. For Barstool, it's like, consider the source. I agree. But she came at us, and then within an hour, she had a tweet that said, all my friends are calling Manny Ramirez Manny the tranny. Like, that's so funny. When he was using like estrogen to hide his steroid use.
Yeah.
And she had to have her mea culpa. She was like, I apologize for insensitive remarks that I thought were funny at the time that I learned were not. I was like, you're doing the same fucking thing.
But also like, it's reached a point where with this is like everyone's going to do this in their life. If you're in entertainment at some point, I guarantee you we will say words on this podcast that are not allowed to be said in 10 years, and we'll apologize for it because we'll probably have grown and we probably wouldn't want to use those words anymore anyway.
Right.
But that's just the way it's going to go.
Always.
And like, it's just the world is going to go that way now. And it's not just in entertainment. Because everyone now leaves a trail of everything.
Right.
And at some point, cultures change and society changes, and there's ebbs and flows and words you say and words you don't say. And you're going to just be like, fuck, well, at that time, we said that word, man. I mean, I always talk about Michael Scott has it when he's like, when I was growing up, gay men dump. Or whatever it is he has. And he's like, and now it means homosexual or whatever.
It's the best.
And like, that's what's going to happen.
What's the line? There's one in Friday Night Lights that's so bad. What is it? Remember, we like uncovered.
Oh
recently,
my God! Hang on,
like,
I'm gonna see.
I think there's like an F word in it. And it's like, it's bad.
This was like prime time NBC television,
Friday night family programming, and like Jason Street is talking with Riggins, and they say some shit that I was like, oh my fucking God! That at the time was not a blip on the radar. No. And that's what's funny too is as you look this up, I'll say there are times where I'll give a take. Or I'll say
here
something.
It is. Oh man, it's not Street. It's fucking I forget the guy he's paralyzed with.
There you go. Hey, when you're done putting the newbie in that gay wheelchair, let me know.
You are talking to a gay man, Herb.
I don't mean gay isn't homosexual. I mean gay isn't retarded.
That was just Thursday nights on NBC, like 2006.
Oh my God, that's so wildly offensive.
Like, it's insane. It's insane that was just on. That was a kid show on NBC, like 2006. So yeah, we're all gonna fucking have these things.
Right.
We're all gonna have these
Anybody
things.
who's made their name a little bit. You've said some controversial shit at some time, because if you're entirely vanilla, you'll never gain a follow. I mean, Jemele Hill has an article praising, saying that David Tyree is brave for his anti-gay marriage remarks. I don't think that's a good one.
That's probably
not great.
Not good.
But I'm also not going to crucify her because I got a million too. It's like everybody has said some shit. Everybody, especially in the public eye, has said some shit. And if you come for someone, the mob's coming for you next. And like everybody, Moosh, the fucking kid from Barstool, has tweets immediately after like denouncing all of Barstool for being racist. It's gonna happen to everyone. So let's just.
I don't even think it's a problem that you've said words that just aren't said anymore.
Right.
That's just the way the world works.
Right.
You had words that you were young, and those are the words you used.
Yep.
And now you have different words because you learn about those facts of life and why words are good and why words are bad. Like, there isn't anyone, just because you can't grow up that way, there isn't anyone who hasn't said words that are bad words.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me to get like
things will change.
I
can't even. Sometimes I try to think of like what words are next. I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of like the thing. Like I feel like what was it? One of the all time like cold takes. Guy in like 1986, I think, the head of the U.S. Patent Office
Said like all ideas.
said everything that's been invented has been invented, and like
No more things can exist.
I feel like that guy. I think we got all the bad words out. Well, I'm gonna be wrong.
I'm sure,
I'm gonna be like
sure.
there's gonna be something else.
Sure, there's more on the way. So until then, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. And I really think it all comes down to like an ego thing. It's like when you are a lot of people who are in a position of like popularity in the media, if you're like white dude who always have had, like I said with me before, like always had success and never had any problems, you're like, I can't apologize. That would like weaken my stance or whatever. It's like you've never, there are plenty of people who've had to do far worse than apologize for doing something wrong, and you're just not used to. It's like a kid. It's like you don't want to be in trouble. And I should have to be in trouble. Well, you won't be if you just say sorry. And that doesn't mean, you're lesser than, and maybe you lose a few fans, but you gain some more. It's just like, grow up, get over yourself, get over your ego and your pride, and like say you're sorry to the people who you fucked over. Today's show is brought to you by Tej Hanley. I respect Tej Hanley here. With their copy, it says, "Have you noticed how much better my skin's looking lately?" Can't do that. I'm trying to give you an honest ad read here. Can't do that. Skin's not looking better, right? It's
Why?
I just don't think it is.
Oh, I think your skin looks very nice.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would,
then have you noticed how
I would say you've got a good glow to you.
I mean, I have been using the AM and PM serum.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know if I would have thought about it unless you brought it up. I think your bags are way smaller.
Ooh, baby.
Like I mean, I could be wrong, but like now that I'm looking at it, I do think your bags are way smaller.
I mean, I have been using this AM PM cream. That's like you put a little bit on your eyes in the day and at night. So, shit, I take it all back. Have you guys noticed that my skin's looking better recently? Tej Hanley has skincare for guys, and I'm sure girls too if you want to use it. That has everything from lotions to serums to washes, and it's the best routine for guys who, we don't usually pay attention to that. We don't really focus on it, and it's time to make sure that your face is not ugly. I keep telling those guys that should be their slogan. Make sure your face is not ugly, because who can't get on board with that? It's like when you get those pop-ups that like, do you want a discount? Click here, and then it says like, no, I don't care about free money.
Oh yeah,
it's like, do you want to have an
ugly?
ugly face?
Right.
And there has to be people who are like, yes, no, like leave me alone. No. So Tej Hanley is they're coming up with a full skincare regime for you. That they're the only people out there on the market where one shot you buy everything you need. Comes in this box with a DOP kit bag for your toiletries that just has everything you need. No extra costs with free shipping. They sell directly to you as the consumer, so you get the high-quality skincare products for a super affordable price, and you get that free bag with your first purchase. So go to Tej.com, TIEGE.com/KFC, and get started for just $25. $25, everything you need to make your face feel clean, wash it off, put your lotions on, put your serums on, and make sure your face is not ugly. So speaking of cold takes, I'll introduce it as such, but I'm also going to defend it at the same time. All-time cold take from KFC Radio on like January 2nd. We declared 2020 the year of mental health. We were going to get right. We were going to fix what's going on between the years. We were going to go to therapy.
Now we did.
Well,
we got going. It's just
we got derailed.
This was the world was like, oh, you guys are gonna get some help. Yeah. I'll bring in the big guns.
The universe knew.
Yeah,
they're like even the fucked up ones are
you
trying
guys
to get
don't get to, no. You don't get to get better.
You gotta keep things balanced here. If you guys get in shape, this whole thing tips over. That's so true. But here's what I'll say. Here's why I don't think we're wrong. I think it has become. It's almost like when I go to the gym. When I say I'm going to go to the gym, what I always say, like, I got to get like the clothes first and I got to gear up 1st. That's what we did. We took note of mental health. I did. You were always a little ahead of the curve on that. I was like, for the first time, I really got to address my mental health. And now, because the world got so fucked up, everybody is talking about their mental health. Everybody worried about their quarantine effects and fear of corona and then racial shit. Everybody is now saying, let's talk about mental health, which I think is a very big first step for mental health.
That's true.
So it's like negative 1 year, -1 of mental health, and then 2021 is the year of mental health.
I mean, it's a big year for it because guess what? I've had multiple anxiety attacks today.
It's like 3 p.m.
They started at 3 a.m., buddy. I was sitting in my bedroom
Dude, they're
doing
terrible.
the was it 5 things you can touch, 4 things you can see,
Yeah.
5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. And you just like
You eating Sour Patch Kids?
I was just, like, trying to get things going. And then I laid in bed till 8 a.m.
Yeah, man.
I was like, this sucks. This is the worst.
It is crazy.
But it is it's a big year for it.
It's not.
I don't even think it's a cold take. I think we knocked that take out of the park.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I came around on it. It's not the year that everyone got healthy, but it's the year that it took the forefront.
It is
Time person of the year, mental health. Just like when Hitler was on there. It's not good.
Yeah.
We're not saying it's a good thing. We're just saying it's talked about.
Bro.
It's a big deal.
I had like an all-time like perfect storm of a breakdown last week. So I obviously was not doing well for the last month or so. I was kind of
paying attention.
I was hinting at it on the podcast. I was like, I'm done with this. I wasn't like coming out right and saying it, but like I was not doing well for a while. And I'd been like every day was just like a grind and a slog. And it was just like every day you woke up and you're just like, I just need to do what I can, like almost like a kid with his chores. Like I need to do what I need to do so I can get back to bed. That's all I need to do right now.
So not interrupt. I made a fart noise with my hands. It was my hands. Okay. Continue. Sorry.
And it was like every day was just survive the day. And so like probably 2 weeks ago, right? We were at our friend's house and I had made it till 6 p.m. And I was like, that's it. Like the moment when you can be like, okay, it's not crazy to go to bed right now. So I was like,
love that moment.
I was like, at 6 p.m. I'm going to bed. And everyone was like, we're like drinking and going to parties. Like I'm not doing any of that. I'm staying here and thank you for having me stay here, but I'm gonna go to bed. And go upstairs and I'm staying in like this loft bedroom where she has a 1-bedroom house. I'm staying in the loft bedroom. And my girlfriend comes to bed and she just like kind of casually asks, she's like, hey, are you okay? And that's when you hear that when someone's finally like, are you
universal like floodgates,
bro? I cried so fucking hard. It was like sex. Like we switched positions. Bro, I cried missionary. I cried little spoon. I cried big spoon. I think I was doggy at one point. Like I cried so fucking hard. We made love, man.
Yo, isn't that crazy where it's like, I feel like it's like a toxin in your body coming out. Like your tears are like holding the fucking bad in, and it's like, get this out of my fucking body.
And then, we were on 2 twin beds.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
just falling in the middle.
Falling in the middle, trying to pull back up, and it's like on this bed. And I'm like, I just want to stop being sad. And like ugly cries, real fucking bad. And then finally, I'm like, okay, it's all out. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. And I climb down the stairs from the loft, and like not a very close friend is just sitting there.
No.
He's not a bad friend. Like he's not
a friend you cry to.
He's not. And I was just like,
hey, dude.
Stop, dude. He's
got to read the room and leave.
I think he was asleep. So I think he was just fake being asleep. Like I was inspecting the body.
Yeah.
Almost like how like some animals can like tell like if a body has died in a poisonous way, they know not to eat him. Yeah. Right? Like I was like kind of like
the breathing.
I'm like,
shit,
is he faking this asleep or is he for real fucking asleep right now?
I would commend him if he really couldn't go anywhere else. If he's just like, I'm gonna just lay here. It's like when your roommate's having sex in college. I'm gonna just pretend I'm asleep here, except it's way more awkward.
Yeah, like bro, I came down. I had like my shirt was like stretched out. I was like covered in snot and fucking wetness, and I was just like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!"
That's plucked straight from a movie, man. That is straight from a goddamn movie.
But anyway, things are better now.
Yeah, I mean,
it was also so funny too. Like my girlfriend and I never talked about it again either.
Yep.
The next morning, we just got in the car. I was like, "I'm sorry for crying so much." She said, "It's okay.
Like, we want breakfast, whatever, done." Which is probably not the best thing either. But hey, that's like again, big step, 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back. But we'll keep it moving here. Your mental health, man.
What?
Your mental health.
Your mental health, dude. It's on.
It wouldn't have happened in a year that wasn't about mental health. Wouldn't happen in 2019. You wouldn't have cried. You wouldn't have gotten it all out. So, for real though, I mean, it is. I think that it was a bad time for a lot of people, and I think that's one thing that I like. Some of my jokes and shit are kind of like in question now, but I definitely believe I used to be like, you came from a good upbringing. Why are you sad? Like,
Right.
Not realizing, rich people can be sad. Like happy people can be sad.
Those are
I know
the
that
worst
sounds stupid,
ones.
but happy people, yeah.
Those are the worst ones because
Yeah.
you're like,
I can't. How do I fix it?
You're like, why am I? You have no right to be sad, dude.
Absolutely. If you're like poor and down and out, or fucking, I'm not saying it's a good thing if you're like abused or you have problems, but at least you know what's going on. It's like, this is the problem that I need to fix. When you're happy, when everything's good, I should say, it's like, I don't know. My brain just won't let me be happy. It's fucked.
Dude,
Like your brain's betraying you.
When I talk to my therapist, she's like, so what do you want to talk about? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have anything.
Right.
There's nothing.
Nothing and everything all at the same time. Like, you tell me, you're the fucking doctor. And I'm sure they're like, okay, I know what that means. Like, I do believe that's probably a cliche response. So anybody who's feeling that way, not alone. And we're the #1 mental health podcast out there. Feminist, masculine, and mental health podcast on the market. So holler at us if you need some help. Burrow, a good way to make sure you get good rest and you're comfortable when you go home. I do believe going home you need to have like a home base that makes you like happy and safe and comfortable, and that's what a good couch can get you. And that's why Burrow is the best option. Why is Burrow better? It has unique features that you're not going to find at regular furniture stores or even other stores online. They got the built-in USB charger so your phone doesn't die. It's got the durable fabric that's scratch and stain resistant, so you don't have to worry about cleaning it. You can customize it with your color, your legs finish, your armrest style, the length, the size. You can add a chase lounge or an ottoman or both.
What's the Chase Lounge?
I think it's the one that's shaped like an L.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just an L-shaped couch.
Yeah.
The L part is a
Like
chase.
it doesn't have an arm on one side usually.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
Fancy fucking word.
Yeah.
Ottoman, footrest, chase, L. Done. 23,000 different combinations for a couch at Burrow, though.
2,300?
23,000.
23,000.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That sounds like a lot of combinations.
Yeah, man. It's like, I'll just pick like 2, just like big or small. Sure, let's go. You can change it up. It's practical. It's versatile. You can assemble it quickly, break it down in minutes. Fits everywhere you need it to fit. You can add or remove seats. You can convert a love seat into a full couch, sectional, whatever you need. And it's cheap. They have the sleep kit that can form your couch into a comfier bed, which, when you're trying to just make it to the finish line and get to bedtime, sometimes even just getting to the bed is tough. So if you got the couch that you can sleep on, bango, bango. Stylish, practical, and designed best for you. They've also got new everything for the rest of the room. They've got tables and rugs. And they have shelves for the walls. So all that stuff you need to just make like a full room. If you're living on your own now, you need to revamp your whole apartment. Go to burrow.com/KFC. It's BURROW.com/KFC, and you'll get $75 off plus free fast shipping with a big item like that. It usually costs a lot of money, so an extra bonus there. Burrow.com/KFC for $75 off your purchase. Mental health, an issue right now in the celebrity world, always an issue in the celebrity world, but we'll start with Kanye, who's like noted, like admitted, bipolar. You never know what you're going to get with him, and you never know if I feel like you never know if it's real or not because of things like that. But he's running for president. It's something that we should all take very seriously, right?
Why does he get to run for president?
Because he said so.
Why?
He tweeted it.
But why do we take it seriously?
I was wondering.
And
that.
also, how seriously are we taking it in the sense that are we taking it seriously to make fun of it? Because I'm also running for president.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything else other than just say it.
Well, and that's what
right there.
Kanye has not taken any steps. He just
Right.
tweeted. He has not signed up. He has not gotten petition signatures. He has not presented a platform, and he already missed, I think, 8 states. You have to, by this deadline, you would have to say I'm a registered independent candidate, and he missed that. So I think he has states he could not even get votes for. So it's now. It's
So
still
you're not
possible.
running. So you're not running for
Right.
president then.
But so I was thinking, because this happens all the time. There are always crazy people running for president
Right.
that just don't garner.
But
so
I don't even think we're entertaining that this year. Remember in 2016 when they'd have the debates and they were fucking
clowns up there.
50 people on the
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
The Republican debates had 20 people on stage.
Right.
And I guess we're not doing that this year because
we're
Trump's the incumbent. And
No more.
And like
they would be the ones causing.
yeah,
the scene.
there's not anyone
yeah.
there, and like
Right.
the Democrats, I guess, already did their debates, but it was
They had a
it
bunch.
was like
of,
what?
I mean, I remember a bunch of them being. On
That's
stage. I
true.
was
They
like-
were fucking 100 of them. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Right.
never mind. I'm not talking about. We did it already.
But so like what is the cutoff? You know, those people were at least politicians, and you could say like you don't have the following or the constituency or whatever. But like, you know, Kanye has.
But like that Marianne Williamson or whatever her name was, what was she, a
Kanye's
fucking
probably-
life coach from California?
Probably more legit than that girl. Kanye is like. or
Is
just
she an
as
actual
legit.
politician?
Yeah.
Marianne Williamson or Williams, whatever. her
Yeah,
name is?
she said some dumb.
She
shit,
had some
too,
like
where
she was
it's
just like
oh.
she's like an Earth mother. She might be an elected official, but she was definitely more Earth mother than elected
Well,
official.
did you see that guy on Twitter? It said like congressman with a blue check who was saying Beyonce's Italian and not black.
Yeah.
And then like doubling down, talking about like a whole conspiracy. And it's like for the people who follow social media and believe in like the blue check and all that shit, they're probably looking at that being like, all right, this guy is like an elected official. Yeah, Marianne Williamson. We're looking at her Wikipedia now. A spiritual leader, an author, and an activist. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you just got a fucking Oprah's spiritual advisor.
How the fuck did this girl get on a stage?
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Like that's where it's just like, you know, your whole party's a joke. Like, and that's why I do think that Kanye. But like there are people, I think Kanye fans, like the stans of the Kanye world, are probably like, yeah. And then there are people who are like, he's gonna take votes away from Biden, and that's how Trump's gonna win. And honestly, if that happens, we deserve what we get. Like, then that's democracy, and like that's on you for voting for this dude. Who
I can't imagine like because he's going to be a write-in. No
Yeah.
one fucking writes in.
I can't imagine.
Like-
but I mean, I said all this on a video, and a lot of people were like, "This is exactly what people said about Trump." Now, I think Trump made a lot more concrete steps to make this happen than Kanye has, and probably will.
I don't
But,
think this is
you know.
people. Like, definitely, people thought about it as a joke with Trump.
I thought about it as a joke on election night. I was like, "This is still like this is a publicity
but
stuff
like,
for his new TV show," and then he just fucking won.
He'd also been doing it for like 4 years
Yeah,
at least,
yeah,
right? Like he at least like dipped his toe into the political foray with being like a fucking birther and shit like that.
Yeah, even just like
he was
even
a-
political banter on like social media is like you're angling.
he was a regular guest on Fox News and Fox
Now,
and
but
Friends.
I mean, you could say like Kanye was wearing the "Make America Great" hat again.
I mean, that's just you're just wearing a hat,
Right.
This is like he Kanye's never made a political statement that I can think of.
I mean, yeah, it's only like appearances with Trump, wearing the hat. I mean, I'm sure he spoke on Trump at one point though. When that happened, I'm sure people asked him, and he said something. along the
Yeah,
lines of,
he
like,
probably said something in the Charlemagne
I do
guy.
think
He says he's
I
like a
think he
free
said
thinker.
some-
or
yeah, like something like, you know, you're just as bad if you like condemn him without listening to him. But I mean, he just put out a new song. He has a new album coming. He just did the Yeezy Gap thing. He's married to a Kardashian. He's missed the deadlines. He hasn't taken any other steps to become president. Let's relax. It's a stunt.
Kanye,
But I
didn't
think,
Paris Hilton announce too?
well, I think that was like the best example. Like she just tweeted it. I don't think Paris Hilton wants to really run. She's just
Right.
like, well, fuck it. Paris for president.
That's what I
And then
mean.
the top reply, one of my favorite pictures ever. It's Paris Hilton in one of those dresses. You remember the fad where you like your clit was exposed. They wore like such low rise clothes and a white tank top with her hands up in the air, and it just says "Stop being poor" on her shirt. So great, love it. I would vote for her before I vote for Kanye. But that's an interesting question, though. It's like, okay, what is it? Why are we taking? We're not, but why are some people taking him seriously? Is it? You have to be. Is it a level like if an athlete has a lot of? If Tom Brady announced it, he's like, well, he's won championships. Kanye's won Grammys. Like he has a lot of fans. He might win. Like why would that be taken seriously and not others? It's
but
like,
who is taking? Like, is there a single like has there been like an article written?
I've
like,
seen the only thing I've seen from not credible people, but people who I know actually care about this stuff. Were saying when Trump wins because he took votes away from the right.
I
from the
just
left,
can't
then
imagine he's taking that many votes.
I hope not, bro.
Because also he's not going to get like he's not going to
I
be
mean, he's
in
not gonna
debates.
do it. He's not-
going to be
right.
and then like he's going to like Kanye tweeted it once in July. Like
And then like
elections November.
that dickhead Elon Musk, he did it too. Elon Musk endorsed him,
Oh,
and then
God,
it's like
that
well,
guy fucking endorses
you know,
everybody.
The billionaires of the world. Yeah, really. It's like the last two endorsements for fucking Elon Musk are Dave Portnoy and Kanye West. Maybe that dude should just stick to making cars. Same thing though. It's like Elon Musk makes cars and rockets. That doesn't mean you know about like ruling society.
Right.
You know, I don't know who does know about it anymore. To be honest, nobody's really inspiring. But I don't think it's going to be Kanye. If whoever does become president, first executive order is to throw Britney Spears' dad in jail. This fucking scumbag.
What is happening?
I am taking this
I
upon
know
myself. I'm going to free Britney.
You blogged it, and I know you you talked about it in the rundown today.
Don't get it twisted. I mean this sincerely. Like I am appalled by what's happening to Britney Spears.
What is happening? Explain this
Since
to me.
2008. That's 12 years. She's only 38. So since she was like a kid, basically, she has been under what they call a conservatorship, which is basically legal guardianship, which is almost exclusively when you're like 98 years old and you're mentally disabled to a point that you cannot like make your own decisions, or you're like a harm to yourself and others. Like you have to be fucking crazy, demented, or like unable to live. And then you have someone make decisions for you, and you can't sign anything for yourself. You can't make any. You have like a legal guardian who makes all your decisions for you. That's happening to Britney Spears as a 38-year-old woman, and it's been happening since she was like 26.
How did she get forced into that?
So that's what's weird. They're saying that. So it started in 2008. 2007 was when she shaved her head and attacked the car with the umbrella. So I'm not saying that Britney Spears has psychological issues, because she was in the business and she was born. She was on another level, like famous when she was 15. That's another thing, by the way. She was 16 years old during Hit Me Baby One More Time, and everyone was like, "I want to fuck this girl." Yeah, that's gonna weigh on you, and I'm sure she had like sexual stalkers that she had to deal with. And I think, she was kind of like a backwoods girl who all of a sudden was like the most famous in the world.
Dude,
her family, I think, are like kind of predators. I don't think she has like a good team around her. And so they went to like a court when I think it was probably like fanfare. Like I think people saw Britney shave her head and was like, this girl's crazy. And her father was like, I need to be in control of her. And some judge gave her control. And if you look at, we did this very famously on our show. We looked at the lyrics to Lucky. And it's like, yeah. She was crying and she was upset. She did the remake of My Prerogative, if you listen to those words, it's like, I don't have to like run my decisions by you. I can live my own life. So here's where it gets interesting though. The Free Britney movement's been going on. Like her fans have known about this forever. Recently, she puts up a video and she's doing the weird, she always looks weird on her videos, and everyone's
she looks like a person.
Yeah, a lot of people. Her fans are like, she's on medication that like is fucking with her.
Yeah,
and so
she looks like a person who should be under a conservatorship. If we're being honest here.
Well, let's.
She has the eyes of a person who's like, boy, maybe someone should be watching after you.
Watching after, sure. Britney Spears cannot leave the house without permission. She can't spend her own money. She can't get her own lawyer. She can't. I mean, they said that it is equal to the same rights as a 10-year-old. Now,
okay, and guess what? We're speaking of a woman who was not that recently, but in the last decade, sued for farting on a guy too much. So again, maybe she should have the rights of a 10-year-old.
I would say this. There's every chance.
Imagine like you fart on me so many times, I have to sue you for it.
What was that? What was
her bodyguard?
Her bodyguard said she just kept farting on her.
It's like look,
listen, you can't lose your freedom for farting. Freedom to fart. I'll take a knee. I'll go Kaepernick on this one. From sea to shining sea, we can fart, man. Here's what I think. I think you could free Britney Spears, and there's every chance that tomorrow she blows all $200 million and burns down the rest of her house along with her gym. I think that's entirely possible. I also think she should be allowed to be able to do that. I think that Amanda Bynes, she's a free woman. Lindsay Lohan, her parents don't make her decisions.
Have they been sued for flicking boogers at people too much?
She's crying out for help.
Britney Spears has.
She's crying for help, man.
Dude, I agree. She
should be able to.
She's got a problem.
They should let her burn. Let it go. And if she kills herself, okay. I think that she should be able to be crazy. That's freedom. That's America, dude. Here's my real problem. If you want to say she's crazy, I'm with you. Britney Spears is a crazy batshit nut. Yeah. To the point that she needs to be like basically institutionalized in her own home, that's where I disagree. Because in this same time period, she put out an album, she had a multi-year residency in Vegas, and she went on a world tour. You can't go on a world tour if you can't make decisions for yourself.
Yeah, also, but it also kind of sounds like she is. If you're going on world tours, they're not fucking dragging you like your Princess Leia.
She doesn't, all the money doesn't go to her. She doesn't make any money. She goes on a world tour. You know how hard it is to go on a world tour? It made $131 million. It was regarded as like a top 10 world tour of all time, and she doesn't get any money.
How does she not get money?
It goes to her father. It all goes to her father. And then there was a story like she was on the fucking world tour in the middle of making $130 million. She went to the front desk. She said, you know, like a diva. She was like, my room is like barren and plain. Can you get some flowers? I want like flowers in my room. And they said, no, it's not within your budget. Like your father won't allow it. That's fucking insane. That's enough to drive someone insane.
Right.
If I was making $131 million and I had a little like tiny allowance, I would go nuts. You know what I would probably do? I'd probably burn down a gym. I would go insane. So she makes this video, and in the comments it says, if you are in danger, if you need our help, wear a yellow shirt in your next video. Next video, yellow shirt. And the original caption just said like, oh, I got my new flowers. She went back and changed the caption and said, in my favorite new yellow shirt. Like she called it out awkwardly. Tell me that's not a fucking sign for help. This is the guy, this is the video who he looks like, I don't know if you want him endorsing you, but there are all these TikToks. It's actually very funny in the gay Twitter and gay TikTok world. They're all just doing videos dancing to Britney Spears with factoids popping up on the screen about her conservatorship, but they're all just like glamorous fucking dancing, trying to call attention to this Britney Spears movement. But so
What is she doing right now?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, she just walks back and forth. She just goes left, right, left, right. And then everyone starts making fun of her. And then people are like, stop making fun of this girl. She's fucked. She's trapped. She's medicated. And then they said that she's being forced to take like medication that has, that like is letting her be under this spell basically. And that, I think there's documents of her. She has tried to put an end to this and like they won't let her, which is funny. I mean, not funny, but imagine if it was just like, no, yeah, you're crazy.
Like, yeah,
like, you're fucking nuts.
We've all reviewed the evidence.
Right.
Things stay how they are.
Play this one. Or how many likes are on the? Yeah, if you need help, wear a yellow shirt in your next video. It has like 300 likes, so it was probably like towards the top. I know she probably gets like millions of comments, but it was noticed by people that this comment said wear a yellow shirt, and then the next video she wore a yellow shirt and said, "Look at me wearing my favorite yellow shirt." I mean, it's a cry for help, John. I'm going to free Britney. And it might be a cold take. She might just come and kill me. She might whack us all. But I think she should be free to be a mass murderer if she wants to.
I agree. There's something afoot here.
Right.
And I don't know if I've seen the evidence that she should be freed yet. Like the
yellow shirt.
I mean, no. I'm saying, just her eyes are just
okay,
like,
but how about this?
What's the deal?
Like, yes, she has crazy eyes. You don't get to trap someone in their own home because you have crazy eyes.
I mean, if the doctors have said, yeah, this is the way we should handle this.
I
mean, you can't make them go
give
on
me
world
another
tours.
example. That's what I mean. Like, there's anybody who is competent enough to pull that shit off. There are so many crazy celebrities, John. They join cults. There are celebrities who have killed people. And we don't do anything about that. But Britney Spears is a little bit wacky, so she can't leave her house. I mean, what are we doing? It's crazy. Free Britney.
All right.
And you know what else? We dropped the ball as a society because we sexualized the fuck out of a 15-year-old girl. So we owe it to free Britney.
I'm not going the we on that one. I was too young. I didn't participate.
we were within our bounds. But I mean, she gave us "Hit Me Baby One More Time." She gave us "Oops, I Did It Again" in the red fucking like patent leather outfit. She gave us "Toxic." She gave us the snake at the MTV Awards. We can free Britney.
All right, fuck it, free Britney.
August 1st is my deadline. I'm getting a free Britney in a month.
Yeah,
because the world's been very just and fair recently, so I expect things to go very quickly. Free Britney. Wouldn't that drive you fucking crazy though? If Britney Spears gets like, I mean, it's been a long time, so she does deserve swift justice. But out of everything going on, if it's like, all right, let's focus on Britney Spears. She's got $215 million.
Well,
she can't spend it though. She can't, not her. Fuck you, Jamie Spears, you sick son of a bitch. Fucking assholes feeding this poor girl. God. I mean, it really is crazy. Like, you can't be that famous. You can't. The human mind is not like capable of being that famous. Everybody, Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber. Bieber's actually handling it pretty well, all things considered, I think. But even he like kind of took he's not out there as much anymore.
But
I think
Bieber,
I can't do this anymore.
I guess he put out an album this year, but yeah, Bieber like just doesn't work anymore.
Right, which I think is a very calculated like I can't because I'm not capable of handling this. Your mental health, bro. Can't get famous. Getting famous, money is the devil. Getting famous, terrible. Britney, free fucking Britney. Let's get into a little sports news. It's brought to you by Indochino. Having clothes fit right can be a huge confidence booster. I mean, that's a lesson I learned later in life that I feel like I wish I learned earlier. That like the clothes do make the man.
Yeah, the clothes open all doors.
And it's like the clothes really, they don't make the man, but they make up for the lack of man.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I wish I was something else, and I'm not, but I can dress like that, and I can trick you into thinking that I am. And that's important. So, when you're younger or you just kind of don't have a sense of fashion, you are, you're wearing clothes that don't fit, you're wearing clothes that don't match or don't go together in the right way, and you just look like shit. And Indochino is out here trying to fix that, and they believe that custom clothing shouldn't cost a fortune, because that's the main problem is everybody's got to shop off the rack or online shop, and you're not going to get like some that's the right length in your arms and the right size in your chest, and everything fits together perfectly, because usually that costs an arm and a leg. That's what Indochino's doing. They're making that affordable and possible. You can do virtual styling consultations or shop online where you can measure things virtually, and they can get a sense for what fits you through the internet. You can go visit a showroom where they can measure you in person, and they can personalize your clothing and your suits, whether it's blazers, shirts, coats, whatever. They'll make sure that you get customized fitting clothes at fair prices. You can customize everything: the fabric, the lining, the lapel shape, a monogram, whatever. All suits start at just $299. So imagine a custom fitting suit for under $300. They got showrooms across North America, or you can book a virtual appointment online right now at Indochino.com. Use the promo code KFC, and if you buy any suit $399 or more, you get an extra $30 off. So up the money a little bit. $299 is the lowest price. Go to $399. Just bump it up a little, and you get $30 off when you use promo code KFC at Indochino.com. Cam Newton is a New England Patriot.
I don't know what to think about that.
Are you? Some people are like Super Bowl on. Other people are like he's not even going to make the week 1 team.
I think he'll make the week 1 team. I don't think he'll be the starter, and it has nothing to do with Cam. I know, not from personal discussion, but from reading like how much the Patriots really like Jarrett Stidham. Now there's a chance that Cam Newton goes in there, lights the world on fire, and then it's just like
can't.
Yeah, you got to have
a former MVP,
right?
Like, your time's coming, Stidham. I think that's the main reason why he will get a shot. It's like Stidham. This just fell out of nowhere. Like Garoppolo's like, I need my time. Like it's time for me. I don't think Stidham's gonna have any fucking demands or anything yet.
Right.
If
I mean,
a former
Stidham,
MVP
you
pops
played
in.
pretty well. I mean, he played really well in the preseason. So like, you've had a really good preseason. You can't.
Yeah, that's not enough to make.
Not like
demands.
no. You don't get former MVPs in here.
Right.
This is my time now.
Right. But I mean, a former MVP with a chip on his shoulder.
I mean, he's said he's like, I'm gonna be a motherfucking beast this year, and there's a chance that happens.
There is a
good
chance.
I believe Cam Newton.
I think it's tough when you say that though. If you don't have much in the tank. Which I don't know whether he does or not. To be honest, I didn't look at his numbers or really watch him play in recent years. But you say that and you mean that, and then you go out there week 1 and get your ass kicked, and you're like, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
it can turn on a dime real quick in football. Where you're like,
I mean, he's not I don't even think he's really in the something to prove stage. I mean, I guess literally he is because of the contract he took, but I don't think he's been bad for a long time. I don't think it's been.
No,
he's not that old.
It feels not the same.
He's 31
as
years old.
Yeah, it's not like
he's either 31 years old. He's born in. He's younger than me.
Did he have a real bad?
I think he had a bad shoulder surgery.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If he's hurt, I can understand the Panthers wanting to move on. What I can't understand is the rest of the league not signing him. When people were trading for Nick Foles and giving up good picks, and there's other guys out there. And you don't take a flyer on Cam Newton? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm trying to look up his completion percentages. Now
unless there's unless there's a Kaepernick effect where it's he's gonna wear loud clothes and he's gonna be a distraction and all that shit. It's
he wears loud clothes that, yeah. But I don't think Cam Newton's ever been a distraction. I don't think Cam Newton's ever been thought of, at least by people who know him, and he has the stigma because he's a black quarterback.
Yeah,
but
crazy hair, crazy outfits. Who fucking cares?
In the community, he's incredibly well respected. That kind of shit.
I always feel that way with Cespedes. Everyone's always like Cespedes is a cancer, and every one of his teammates on every team has always been like that dude's awesome. So
I honestly don't even think people say that Cam Newton's a cancer.
No. But I'm just saying with Cespedes, that's always a moniker that floats around.
But in 2018. He threw for almost 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's not...
13 picks, kind of a lot.
But again, enough to get a look somewhere.
Yeah.
With how many shitty quarterbacks are floating around, you're not gonna take a chance on a guy. It does seem weird. The real thing here, the Pats are not that great of a team, period, right? It's not like...
No, yes, they are. Their defense is like all the way back.
Are they? I
Their
mean,
defense was one of the best in like league history last year. Again, they were playing a pretty shaky schedule, but
like are all the other pieces in place?
yeah.
Really? And what? And did that change from like last year? Because I mean, last year, like, I feel like they got kind of exposed at points.
Last year, I don't know what's actually happening with the wide receivers. So I guess the wide receivers you'd have to see. But like, I mean, running backs are all there. Defense is there.
But I mean, offensively, like, you can't say anything's all there until you see it because you don't know what the Brady effect is going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, I guess you could make the argument the weapons are still missing.
Right.
Whereas, I mean,
Well, and
like,
yeah, I mean,
Edelman's you're probably your number one receiver still. I think. I fucking forget, man. I haven't even thought about football because guess what? This year's not gonna happen.
I know.
It doesn't fucking matter.
I mean,
But speaking of this year not happening, Harvard canceling school and keeping their. If you go to that,
that's insane.
if you agree to go to that, Harvard should kick you out for being too dumb.
You're stupid. You're a sucker.
Like
$50,000 just for the fucking academics, not room and board and all that shit. Just $50,000 for online classes.
It's insane.
Which I guarantee you can just like YouTube.
It's
If you're gonna sit on the computer and just learn things, you can just do it on YouTube for $0, let alone $50.
I think that's gonna be big for
But,
like the
what?
college bubble, if you will.
I agree, but I also think that people don't go to. I mean, they go to Harvard to get like a good education. They go to Harvard to go to Harvard.
They go to
And if you want to get a 4-year degree from Harvard, this year it's gonna be on the computer, and it's like
it's probably an easier time to do it.
Yeah, right. If anything, it'd be like, I can pay $50,000 a year and get this this degree and have it be hard, or I can get this degree and have it be not hard.
Yeah, but then guess what? When you take online classes, you don't get to dress up in fits like Cam Newton does.
You can't flex on campus,
Dude. I mean, like that, like showing up in that outfit.
That like it was like the man romper, right? It was almost like a one.
No,
piece.
I think it was tied around his neck. So I think
Okay.
it was a shirt and and shorts. It might have been overalls, but I think it was just a shirt that
You're
was
gonna
tied
love
around his
this.
neck.
And like you lost Brady, and I was like, oh man, like part of his like post game fits are always such a cool thing. It's like, well, that's one place where Cam Newton fully will replace Tom Brady. You're not gonna miss a beat. You're actually gonna get better.
Yeah.
I don't know about his play. Yeah, look at that. He always had. Remember when he had that Riddler outfit? This gave me Riddler vibes with that hat.
Someone said that he had the look at that. Look at those legs too.
Yeah, he's fucking
the
dude. His hair is nuts. How does he get a fucking helmet on over that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or does he? Did he have that during the play?
I think he's had it long for a while now. But someone, I forget when he first signed, someone was like, "Y'all haven't even seen Cam get to dress up in winter coats all year."
Mean, how fucking like instantaneous did Felger and Maz live up to their reputation? Day one. Not gonna be any celebrating. Not gonna be any fucking Superman. Not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. Well, I think Bill's gonna allow it. Well, then he's not. I was like, oh my god, you fucking guys.
It was stupid. A very stupid video. Just because like Tom Brady's like, let's go, is famous for a reason. Gronk spikes. Yeah, they're like Ridley has a celebration. Again, they're all nothing's elaborate. Like the Patriots actually, they're right in that aspect that
they don't let you like
since like 2017 when they like lifted the ban. I can't think of like a team celebration.
Right,
but you're allowed to celebrate. Yeah. That video went viral.
And by the way, I mean the Superman thing is like the best sell. Like it's so tame.
It's very easy.
And
yeah,
like he's not like T.O. or fucking Ocho Cinco or craziness. Like let him do that.
I loved that video that went viral after it of Belichick and
I never watched it. I saw people like being like,
it's him
Belichick,
being
like, encouraging people.
He's like think about everything that goes into having a successful play.
Right.
Think about how hard you worked all week. Think about how many people had to execute on that play for success. You should be happy. And then he actually goes through breaking down videos of them not celebrating. And he's like, look at this. He's like, look at great tackle there, Ty Warren. No one even smashed him on the ass.
Right.
No one even says anything to him.
Right.
He's like, and guess what? We go back to the huddle like nothing big happened.
Something important just
happened.
happened.
That was just a 7-yard tackle for loss.
Yeah.
And then he starts showing good ones where the whole team's going nuts with each other. And he's like, it's so clear when we want to play and when we're fucking happy to be out there versus when we're not. And it's like, he's like, wait, I forget what he says. He's just like, look at this one against Denver. You think we're fired up to be out there that night, boys? Yeah. And it's like everyone's just like headbutting each other and shit.
See, that's what people like during all the Barstool drama. Dave's like leadership methods are always like Belichickian in his mind, and it's like, but you don't see that Belichick does that.
He says that.
Oh,
he says that.
Oh yeah. Dave, you haven't heard Dave compare us like the Patriots before?
I have, but
it's like Belichick doesn't give you words of encouragement. It's like he does though. He does. Like there are times you don't see it. You don't see it in a press conference. You don't see it during the game.
Right.
But I'm sure there are times where you get your ass chewed out, but then also he's like giving you some love, and that's what never happens around here.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a crazy comparison. That one might be a reach. I don't know. Does Bill have a picture on his wall of a star being filled up?
Get out when you put in. The funniest thing, you know what? What sums up? You know what sums up that? So Dave got a big fucking picture of a star behind him in his office, where a guy is pouring like the stardust into the star and filling it up, and he said he bought it to show to people that you get out what you put in. And my first reaction when he got it, I was like, "Oh, you're just getting a picture for yourself saying how big of a star you are." Like that was my gut reaction. I think there was the reason why I didn't see the metaphor right away. I think there's a reason why, dude. I think there's a reason why
I saw the metaphor right away, and I was just like, "Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's doesn't apply.
No, I mean, I even think it applies.
Apply,
I just think Dave just loves that penny and cracks me up.
Loves it. His friend made it for him too, right?
Yeah.
But wait,
I forgot
like,
it's his friend.
do you think how many games does Cam Newton start?
Start? I honestly think he starts 0. I think he will play in all of them. I don't.
I think it's either going to be like, I think that he's going to play a lot, or it's
Again,
I
I don't know how healthy he is. I don't know what he is, but like, I know the Patriots really, really like Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
I know they were trying to tell that to every team all offseason. Every time a free agent came, like, oh, Patriots going to go after him. Then like, no, we're not. Like, we'll go after. I forget what contract Andy Dalton got, but like, yeah, if you don't give Cam Newton $700,000 guaranteed or whatever it is, then then that's foolish.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, all right, fuck you. The deal's this good. Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it seems like all offseason they're like, no, we got a guy.
Right.
We have a quarterback. Everyone keeps telling us we need one, but we don't.
I wonder if that's posturing, if they really believe it, but I don't know. I feel like Jason Statham's gonna stink. I mean, the fans were funny. The fans who have been like, Stidham's awesome, who were like, Cam Newton here, Super Bowl. It's like, well, you never really believed in Jason Statham at all.
Right.
You know?
And I don't know that I do. I just know that the Patriots do.
Right, and that's all that matters. But the fans are funny. Like, he's fucking awesome, dude. Never mind, we got a replacement. We're set. Was there another sports thing we have to do?
Yeah. Cam Newton also. It will be fun with the Cam Newton stuff to get to fight with people with stupid takes like that, where it's like, he's the only person who celebrates. Like, no, he's not. Because there is a person I've missed that with. Getting people who just have, like, they're already preconceived notions about a guy.
Yeah.
And they're just going to argue and hate everything he ever does. It was David Price.
Oh,
and
what works?
When I tell you that I wish David Price was still in Boston to not play this year.
Opt out.
God damn, that would have fucking
set the world on fire.
Twitter.com.
That would have been
with people. I don't even like. I don't argue anymore.
Right.
Like I argue about two things: Tuukka Rask and David Price.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, guess what? Fucking David Price opted out of the 2020 season, which is the correct move, by the way, and didn't play, and just to piss everyone off. Oh, I would have loved it. I would have loved to have David Price's back on this while Boston lost its fucking mind.
I mean, that would be the Joker gif, and here we go. Like to a fucking T. What a move by him! Like he covered all his bases. He paid the $1,000 to each minor league player.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was a lot. I mean, it was like $200,000.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a
like 400
roster. There's
right?
a lot of fucking guys. Yeah. Like did what he needed to do for his new organization, but also was like, I ain't risking it.
And guess what, dude? That should be a precursor. Like, hopefully he talks to his boy Mookie. Mookie Betts, if you play this year, you're a lunatic.
Absolutely.
You're a nut job.
Right.
You have what, $400 million potentially coming up. Like if
don't risk
this
it.
is going to get remembered as a fake season. So there's no point in getting hurt. There's no point in getting sick, maybe, because there are some people who get COVID and it like destroys.
Ron Miller's like, my lungs ain't right.
Did you see that the guy who's the bodybuilder?
No.
I forget where he's from, but he's a bodybuilder who got COVID and like he got it bad.
Right. Is this the gay guy?
No, but that was one too.
Yeah, that guy was jacked,
one too.
and he lost like 100 pounds and like almost died. There's the dude. No, that was the one I was thinking of.
This guy, I can't think of his fucking name.
And there's that 41-year-old, the Broadway guy who he was like Tony nominated. He just straight up died. He was healthy.
And there are like I can't find the picture guy. He wasn't a bodybuilder. I forget what he was, but he was like a triathlon runner. He did like the those fucking
Ironman or
Spartan
some shit.
races and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
But he's just this huge beast of a man. And then they put him in a coma. 25 days later, came out. He looks just completely different. Like, what if that happens to you, Mookie Betts?
Right. What? And I know people will probably say he'll get. Think of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was like the villain of all villains for not.
Yeah, that guy.
Holy shit! He went from like fucking Aquaman to just like. I'll be honest. I would take his after body. Yeah. I would say this man ravaged by coronavirus. I'd be like, that guy's sexy.
That's what I look like now. I've been working out for a fucking 2 months straight. Like, all right.
But like Kawhi Leonard was totally vilified, and nobody thinks about that anymore. He went and won a title, and now he's a sports hero again.
Oh, right.
You can have there will be people being like, you should have played for like a few months, and then it goes away. Mm-hmm. It's all PR.
And I think even with the Kawhi stuff, I think that changes now. I think that's different with COVID. Because that was a real season at least. This is like,
and also, but that was also just Kawhi's personal choice. Like, I don't want to fuck with you right now because I gotta get my money. This is like I have a reason to. Like, it's not just David Price made this up. Mookie Betts is gonna make it up. There's a full ass reason. The only thing I would say, I would maybe wait until they cancel the season, and then you don't have to do this at all. Because I mean, day one, there's none of these teams got testing, and I know it was the holiday weekend, but still, it's just like the plan's already not working. And nobody's even gotten it yet. When people start to get it, and then they cancel, and then you don't have to have even gone through the drama. Mm-hmm. But what I like, I think I'm very, I want to be David Price. Like he is so above the criticism now. I think it doesn't even faze him. It's like I love that. He had reached a point where you're just like, I don't give a fuck.
After he won the World Series, he's like, I hold all the cards now.
Yeah,
which. I don't know. I mean, I guess he did technically, but
in that moment,
he could still get traded.
Yeah. I don't think he's like has this bulletproof, perfect career. But in that moment, it was like fuck off.
Yeah, and
that's all it takes. You get that one time.
He's just the best, man. I think he does things sometimes that are just like.
It's just fuck you.
Kind of dickish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just so fucking
Hell
awesome,
yeah.
man.
It's like taking
I don't think this is one of them.
It's
I don't think this is one of them.
It's a little like peaceful protest where it's just like, I'm going to piss you off because I can.
Yeah.
And because you could piss me off with like
because he
Twitter
still has the biggest contract in history, right? For a pitcher?
In pitching, yeah.
Right?
Maybe. I think Strasburg came close, but I don't think he beat him. I think Strasburg ended up taking like less than people thought. But yeah, I mean, if not one, it's two.
Right.
So.
One of the wealthiest pitchers in history. Like, nah, man, I'm gonna just do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Because guess what? That's what you should do.
Absolutely.
What's
the point of? It's like Belichick said, like busting your ass and getting there to like not do what you want in life. Fuck off. That's why though I think there's nobody in the world set up better than Patrick Mahomes right now. I mean, he's
how much do we have any idea what it's going to be?
I mean, I haven't seen anything. Oh, Garrett Cole just got his money.
Oh, right.
So Garrett Cole got 321 or something. So it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I mean, if he takes like a crazy discount, but I'm thinking more of like,
why would you, if you were him, why would you want to sign up for 10 years?
It's gonna be an opt out. It's gonna be like 2-year deal
for sure. But like, I think
that's smart because I think Chiefs fans are like coming now. They're like, this is a lifetime deal. This guy's ours for life, and he's like, I don't have that in 2 years.
Yeah.
So you get the good PR. You probably get a shit ton of guaranteed money that way. You have won an MVP and won a title, and you're young as fuck. You know he's like, what's that?
Throw out a guess. Well,
is the number out?
CBS Sports is reporting it. Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be...
It's 12 years.
Woo.
Well,
10-year extension.
It's a 10-year extension,
okay.
yeah.
So, I mean, all these guys were making an annual of like almost like 40, right? I mean, if Dak Prescott was looking for 40, 45 or something.
Is it a
$400 million deal? It can't be.
He's number one.
In sports history. 477, does that say?
No, 427.
27.
Fine. But he hit the four handle.
Yeah, he beat Trout.
Woo!
That's crazy.
Flexing on him. I mean, that's the greatest flex in sports history. To get that deal at the age of, I think, 24.
What is even the next football player on that list? Football players don't make money.
Bro, he's played 31 games. Does it have the guaranteed?
He's 24, yeah.
24 years old, 31 games, a $427 million contract through to 2031. He's getting that Bobby Bonilla money, except instead of a million a year, it's fucking So he'll go from a $2.8 million bonus to a $24 million salary. And his 10-year extension's worth over $400 million.
But will be more.
So the lowest number his 12-year deal can be is $427, and it will be higher than that.
Jesus.
I mean,
Christ.
flex.
I didn't expect that.
No,
I mean,
thought
football
it was
players
gonna
don't
be a
make
discount.
money. Football,
I figured, if you're going to sign that many years and we're going to potentially guarantee you 10 years of guaranteed cash, that'll be like 30 a year, and you'll be like in the $300 million range, which that would have been crazy.
427.
And you know what? Like, I don't know enough. Football is so important, the cap, but like, probably worth it. Like, I don't know. That might cripple your team, but as like a individual player, if other guys are making their money like similar, if Dak's asking for 40, then he.
I don't even. What's the second longest contract in football history? Is anyone?
I don't remember any double-digit deals. I mean, it's a lifetime deal in football.
Right.
You sign somewhere for 10 years, especially if you've already played a couple. It's a lifetime deal.
I don't even know what Brady's longest deal was. I would guess fucking he played week to week. Yeah. I don't even.
You know what I would love to do? I need like Adam Schefter, that fucking weasel, Darren Rebell to do it. If Brady had done something like this, if you could calculate Brady's, we know his success played out like it did, and you can go back and like sign that extension, what it would be worth. It has to be worth like 5, right? If you're gonna get 7 Super Bowls out of it, like
yeah.
I mean, it's got to be like $1 billion. That's fucking bananas. So, I mean, I can't think anybody more on top of the world than that guy because he could stop right now. He's done. He's like set a few records. He's not gonna set like all the records, but he's in the record books already. MVP.
Someone was saying that earlier, where they were like, he is a Hall of Famer
already in 31 games.
How are you a Hall of Famer in 30 games?
He has like, all of the records through 30 games. He has, so you can always say like he was the number one this and the number one that. He won an MVP, won a title. There are plenty.
Look, we're looking at like 1 through 28 of like the top paid athletes of all time. He's not on there yet, but there's no football.
Yeah,
I know.
there's no football.
I know. And it's got to be, I would imagine, Major League Baseball.
Look, I mean, Chris Middleton's on this list. We haven't had a football player yet.
When does football hit?
Khalil Mack, 72.
Holy fuck. And it's like the worst, hardest, most dangerous job. No, there's a couple more.
Oh, wait.
Matt Ryan, fuck off. Is it Matt Ryan? It's got to be a quarterback, right? Yeah. So Matt Ryan checks in at 60 before, after like, look at LeBron. LeBron being, what's that, 50 something?
55.
That's a crime.
But that's just his Laker deal.
Oh, okay.
So it's just
not
a 4-year deal.
Got it. Okay. So, but I mean, Jesus Christ. God.
Mike Vick on there. Shout out Vick. Vick signed $200 million contracts, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy on either side of prison stints.
That's a flex. The dog
Signed a
thing, not
$100
so
million
much.
deal with the Atlanta Falcons. Came out $100 million deal with the fucking Eagles.
Greatest video game player of all time, bro. All right, let's do top 5s, and then we'll get into our voicemails. Top 5 today is brought to you by our girl, Erica Fleischman. Went there.
Oh!
Yep.
You went?
I did.
You just got trimmed up.
We fought.
Yeah, you had to talk.
So she wanted me to grow the hair long. I grew it long, and she was like, I don't like it. We're cutting it. I was like, I just got like into this, and I won the battle. The first time I've ever won against Erica. She was like, all right, like I like that you like it, and we're going to try something with it. So I went, and I got cut. Nick's going tomorrow, right? Or today as this comes out.
Yeah.
That'll be his first Erica experience, and I mean the girl. The reason I have never even tried to win the battle is because I trust her wholeheartedly with my hair. The before and after is it says it all. So when she comes out with a hair care product line and tells me that it's the best fragrance and the best hair care,
Fragrance is so key.
and it stimulates growth, and the sea salt spray helps you style.
You know what's crazy? Want to know exactly how long Corona lasted or quarantine lasted?
A full bottle.
Full bottle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Full spritz
Now-
of the sea salt.
No. I'm
of
talking shampoo.
Got
it. Shampoo and conditioner ran out. Like I was getting putting the conditioner under the shower and kind of get a little bit
the last bit out.
Get the
Yeah,
last bit
yep,
out.
yep.
Literally this morning.
So, I mean, get it. It lasts you long. It helps your hair. Now, the vitamins will help your hair grow. The shampoo, conditioner, paste, and hair cream will help your hair that you do have look shiny and healthy. And you can get it all delivered right to your door. They used all of their all the money from the sales to keep their 25-person team on. And I think that's an incredible accomplishment to they kept, I think their entire staff. There was one girl who wanted to move on, but she was going to move on anyway. I think other than that, their entire staff
That's amazing.
stayed on for Corona. So she's back in action in New York. If you are,
Can't imagine how busy she is, but I wanted to see her.
I think she gave me a number. I think she said something insane like I want to say they did like 70 haircuts a day in the first week they were back.
Really?
Which is just like nuts. So they were they did big numbers because people are believing in the Fleischman way, and so you're gonna have to buy shampoo, conditioner. Those are essentials. So why not just listen to us and do it through this girl who has helped us, is helping out her team, and it's not just your average shampoo, conditioner, and hair product off the fucking rack. Rather than get like your fucking 2-in-1 conditioner, 3-in-1 body wash, 4-in-1 face wash. Get some real stuff. Make sure your hair looks good and legit. And go to FleischmanSalon.com. Click on the hair care line and use the promo code KFC for 20% off, plus an additional 10% if you subscribe at whatever frequency you want. It could be 2 months, 3 months, like John said. I mean, quarantine was almost, 4 months? So if you want stuff delivered every 4 months, you can still get a 10% discount. So use the promo code KFC, subscribe, and get 10% off. And so a total of 30% off, and get that masculine scent with the quality hair care products. And if you are in the area, check out, I recommend going to the salon because you get the full experience. Oh, man. Have you ever gotten Erica when she does the shampoo?
I don't think so.
I mean, she had like a short staff when I went there. Or no, I went in early before her shit started. So she was the one who did it for me. And I was like, oh my God. I
don't think I've ever had the
experience,
pleasure,
bro.
But boy, do I look forward to it.
The pleasure is a word, man. That is the word for it. So go to FleischmanSalon.com. Promo code KFC, 10% off for an additional subscription, and check out our YouTube on KFC Radio. Nick came with me when I got a haircut the other day, and he filmed the whole experience. So there'll be a before and after of me growing my hair out and being stuck in quarantine, and then finally getting a haircut. So check out KFC Radio on YouTube for the full Fleischman experience. Let's get into our top fives. Top 5 today is in honor of Hamilton. Hamilton was out on Disney Plus for 4th of July weekend, which is so now they're gonna go back to doing their big Hollywood premiere. Was it just like a little taste?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I forgot that it was going to be in movies, in theaters.
I haven't heard anything about it, but I'm guessing.
So I got a chance to watch it. So we're going to do top 5, each top 5 songs from the show. I thought it was good. I liked it. It's long, and I don't know why I didn't expect it to be long. It's a fucking Broadway show. Like it's not a movie. It's just
240. It's not crazy long,
right.
but 240. I mean,
but
there's
an intermission in Broadway, and there's like
right.
you're going to a night experience, not just watching a movie. So it took me like 3 settings to watch it. It's like I had to deal with the kids, I had to go out, and I got through it in 3. I like it. I thought it was great. I definitely think that the it's weird to be like. I think it lived up to the hype in its quality, but I can't help but feel that like some of the hype is the fact that it's like the hip hop community and like it's something that Broadway's not used to at all. And I feel like it felt like to me the whole thing.
But also there's rap on Broadway.
But it's never, So I mean, this is the best of that, and that's why it rose to this level. But the whole thing to me felt like when you see a video on like social media or something of like, this is the cool teacher who taught us a lesson through rap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and everyone's like, wow, this is so amazing because it's like we've never seen it before. And I'm like, is it? Does the Broadway crew? The people who love Broadway, are they really that impressed with? Is the singing that much better and all that, or is it that it's like? The urban crowd and the hip hop crowd. And
I actually really expected most of the takes to be like, that's what you guys fucking liked. Mm-hmm. That's what the big deal is about the whole time. Yeah. And I think that's been very little of the case,
I haven't seen
if
much
at all.
I know Roan hates it.
I know Roan hates it.
Roan refuses to watch it because he believes that it's all pandering. But I don't think you have to watch it first. If it was dog shit, I would be like, I'm on board 100% with you.
Right.
That's like, why is this getting all the love? I'm on board with him like 50% in the sense that I can see this like a stuffy, affluent white crowd being like, look at the hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is amazing. Like, we almost have to say this is amazing because it's so different. But I think, like you said, there's been other like hip operas as they call them, and this one rose to like unbelievable prominence because it is that good. I think seeing it live, like I needed the subtitles. I needed like they're rapid fire rapping. Like I needed to read every word to really follow the story.
I was completely overwhelmed for the first 20 minutes of it when I saw it live.
Yeah.
So I was just like I was like,
unless you
sweating.
like know the story and you're
Dude.
like, oh, I know everything. I didn't know like anything about Alexander Hamilton, so I'm like trying to learn. It's a hard watch. Like you can't be on your phone at all. Like I said, I needed to read every lyric to like if I missed something, I had to rewind it. Otherwise, you like lose the whole. There's no wasted scenes. Really.
No.
It's like it's all telling the story, and there's really no breaks at all. So like
I was
you
actually
gotta pay attention.
I don't know if I hadn't felt that way that I felt in the first 20 minutes of Hamilton. Is the only time I can remember feeling that way at all was actually this past weekend. I was looking at houses and I went in to like buy a house, and the lady was like, in the first 20 minutes, just started rattling off things.
Like, I don't know these
and
words
I was
at all.
like, I am so in over my head.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Right.
I'll do something else.
I got to learn a lot more before I even
Yeah.
try to do this.
That's like I wanted to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom and just read the Wikipedia. Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, it's got to be something that's like, you know, if you read up on it and watch it again, you probably have so much more of an appreciation for it. Whoa. But
also like I prefer to when I see Broadway shows, I like to see it live first, which is crazy because a lot of people will listen to a lot of the albums are already out.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will listen to the album
you
before
know
they
the
go
songs.
and like
yeah,
you get
I think I'd be with you on that one.
I kind of want to see it all live
Yeah.
first, and then I'll go back.
then
and
it
listen to the
shapes which
music
song you
more.
like and all that. Because it's
Right.
like, what if you like the song, but then that part of the show you don't like, and then it's all fucked up. I'd be down. It's hard though to be like, I'll see this twice because
Yeah.
it's like, you know, not many people get to see it once at all.
That's what I think. Lin-Manuel Miranda said that more people saw it this weekend than have seen the last 5 years combined,
Undoubtedly.
which is like obvious because like I hadn't thought about it that way. Like yeah, they get like 300 people a night.
in New York City. Like you have to be here. You
Right.
have to. I mean, I'm sure there's still a fuck ton of tickets, but I was thinking about like if you get a chance to interview him now, I feel like he's almost got to like start over, like until like he's got to answer the same questions he's answered probably a million times.
You know, my question to him would be, why do you get all the credit?
Well, I mean, he did everything.
Him and the guy, I thought they co-wrote it. I'm 99% sure I read that they co-wrote almost all of
director?
it. The guy who's Hamilton now. The guy he got to be Hamilton second, and that's when he got introduced on like the Late Show or whatever. And Colbert was like, he co-wrote the whole show, and now he gets to be Hamilton. I'm like, why the hell did he have to wait this long?
I think didn't he write like? I think that maybe they wrote the story together, but like he wrote the music, he wrote the lyrics, he wrote the score, he wrote like the whole fucking thing, right?
I think so. I think like because he does have that like that viral famous
Yeah.
like Facebook post of him like being like, I'm starting writing this thing called Hamilton or whatever.
So it had to be him on like some level. He brought some people
Let's
in.
see
but-
what he said.
but
It is pretty.
You know
one
what
of
I'm
those-
you know what I'm impressed with? That they haven't been canceled.
Why?
I'm surprised there hasn't been the whole like, why are we glorifying these men who were like slave owners and shit? And I think the answer is because it's fucking fire. I think that if you put out like a good enough product, people are like, well, you know, we don't have to be upset about absolutely everything. I think we can just talk about how fucking good this was. But I definitely really like, you know, I
mean, you were definitely one I was worried about.
everybody always is. Everybody and I'm usually I tend to, when the bar is set so high, I set my own standards high, and then a lot of times I don't think it lives up to the hype. And this one, I think it did, but I can't say, like, I don't know enough about I don't have much to compare this to. I've seen a couple shows. I've never really seen any of the other ones that have really broken through like this. So like, I'm interested in American history. I thought they did a cool job of telling it like quickly and I like rap. And a lot of it you have to know. Like some of like the way, like some of the wordplay is like, oh, that's from a rap song. You know what I mean? Like, and if you know the rap songs, it feels like, oh, he's
Like the 10 Crack Commandments.
right,
It's fucking
right.
sick.
The 10 Dual Commandments and like even just one-liners here and there. I'm like, oh, Nas had a rhyme like that, and you know things that I do pick up on.
I don't think I picked up on those things.
No,
but-
probably not, but you don't need to, but it just added like a little more to it for me. So I'm definitely in on it, while also thinking that part of Rowan's idea is probably correct in that, like, I don't think it can be quite this level if it was like a white, if you told like the same, I mean, I guess it's hard because like part of it is like the music is the music, but if you told this as a traditional Broadway show that's just more like sing-songy, I don't know if it gets the same
Well, definitely
recognition,
not. Of
but
course
that
not.
makes it a different show.
Right, yeah.
But I'm saying though, so the difference in the hip hop version of it and the regular show tune version of it, I don't think equates for the difference in recognition. I think that part of the recognition is going to be a pandering crowd.
I don't think anyone's pandering. I think it's just like this is good. I don't think anyone goes see Hamilton is like. And of
I
course,
bet
some
you
people
there
do.
are people who are afraid to like say they don't like Hamilton.
Maybe, but I mean, also like people do. Like it's not like you're not in trouble if you don't like the show.
Yeah, I just haven't. I mean, I haven't seen. Rowan's the only guy I've ever seen say it.
But he's never even seen it.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy. He's got to give it a shot. He was also he doesn't like that people are like you'd like it because you rap, and he's just like don't tell me what I would like. He's being like me,
Right?
You know?
No, and I get it. It all makes sense to me. But like I don't pandering. I don't think is the word to use. I think people are experiencing something new.
Yeah.
So that might be like I
Right.
don't think it's pandering.
Well,
I think
okay,
it's
so
like,
that's my point.
it's almost like when you go see Stomp, and it's like, well, if you just did this with regular drums, would it be as good? Like,
Yeah.
no, it wouldn't. It's because this is new. I don't.
But
see this a lot.
is it like a Ronda Rousey effect? Like, if we see like a lot more rap in Broadway, will we look back and be like, all right, Hamilton was good, but we never had anything
probably.
to compare it to. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
probably.
So I think it's like it's a trailblazer in that sense, and I think it benefits from it a little bit. But definitely enjoyed it, and would recommend for sure. Like Lin-Manuel, you can rest easy. You've got my seal of approval. Top 10 songs. I'm gonna go first.
Top 5 songs.
Top 5 songs. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go like cliche here, and I'm just gonna pick my shot because I also like at the end of the show there's a the Roots have like just a regular version of that where Black Thought raps, and it's the same. It's like the same beat and the same like chorus
really?
and everything, and it's just like a rap song. Kind of. I think there's an album that's sort of like the Greatest Showman reimagined, where it's like regular musical acts sing the songs. I think that's what this was.
Okay.
I think the Roots had something to do with the production of it, though, right?
Oh,
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Was Questlove
Questlove.
involved? Yeah. So
And
I
they-
like both versions of like his version in the show, and then Black Thought and the Roots version. So that's like a 2-for-1 for me. So I know it's kind of like the cliche one, the song that's like throughout
The
whole
Hamilton
thing.
mixtape, yeah. Which
Yeah.
I do not think is as good as Hamilton itself, but
And that's all like real like rappers and
Yes.
like yeah.
I think that's how it started too. That was like how
Got
it
it.
originally was presented, and then
Got
they
it.
turned it into Hamilton.
Okay, I gotta go listen to that whole thing because I didn't know about that until the credits are rolling and I heard Black Thought. So my shot number 1.
all right, I'm trying to decide here. I like the Schuyler Sisters a lot.
Oh no!
I think I'm gonna go Helpless.
Fuck!
Yeah.
That was like my only other one that I really knew. Fuck! That song's dope.
This sounds so good.
And it's so good. It's like it's fucking real and raw.
I think
like,
it's Ja Rule and Ashanti who do the on the mixtape version of
Yeah?
it.
Oh,
I know Ja Rule does one of the
Dude.
Schuyler Sister songs. I forget
That's
which one it is.
awesome. That is awesome. Shit. That was gonna be my pick. That's got a great like melody to it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Helpless.
Oh shit. That's like the Broadway version of Mesmerized when they.
But
used
it's
to-
not. It's nowhere. I'm sorry, I have a mouthful of food
near,
right now.
near as good.
It's nowhere near as good.
Yo, the Schuyler Sisters. What a fucked up little like situation that was, huh? Jesus Christ on the cross. Have you read the theory that he was actually in love with John Lawrence
Oh yeah,
or Lorenz? Is it Lawrence? I'm not sure.
yeah. My sister used to talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I read a Twitter thread after and like
That Hamilton was gay.
yeah, and he was
Right.
in love with John, and that he like his son.
Who's John in the play?
John Lawrence
Is-
in the second
Oh,
half.
I'm
It's
John
his son.
Lawrence in the place to be.
Yeah,
Two
he-
plays
he's-
Sam Adams, but I'm working on 3.
He's he then comes back as his son. It's the same actor.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
You know how they
right.
like they reuse people.
Yeah.
So it's him, which I liked both of the, like I like that actor a lot. So or singer or whatever the fuck you call it.
Anthony Ramos, right?
Yeah, and but they said that Hamilton's sons cut words out of his letters to him that were like, so like they were like the sentence was like sexual, and then like a word was cut out,
Really?
and it was like it was all I can't remember it off the top of my head because it's all like old Englishy, so it's like not easy to remember, but a lot of like innuendo and a lot of like come see me, I'll come see you, like. So, and then I'm like, well, then what the fuck why was he banging that chick? And why
Yeah.
was he mad upset about the wife? Like, you know, the whole, who knows? But, like the plot thickens. And I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm reading into it like after the fact, but there's a moment where I think him and Lawrence are like kind of embracing and like looking into each other's eyes. And I remember being like, that's a little weird, but it's Broadway, you know, it's everything's theatrical. And I was like, I wonder if they were like sneaking it in there because they definitely don't address that, but if they wanted to like throw it in there for the people. All right, my second pick then is the 10 Dual Commandments because of the 10 Crack Commandments. I think that was it is an accomplishment to take a song like the 10 Crack Commandments, which are the 10 rules to being a drug dealer, and he put it on Broadway, and people just like loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not taking like hip hop, that's taking like raw fucking rap culture and bringing it to Broadway. And I got to tell you, Alexander Hamilton, don't go to that guy for dual advice.
I mean,
I don't know if we. I don't. Is it
How
spoiler
his
alert?
son
I don't
died.
know, but like,
I mean, it's just history. I don't feel bad about spoiling
Yeah,
history.
yeah, you're right, you're
so
right.
it is like, I mean, having your son die in that fashion is.
I mean, I could have the whole time I was
crazy.
watching. He's like, raise your gun to the sky, shoot it in the air. If the other dude is a man of honor, he'll do the same. Well, he's already engaging in a fucking gunfight with you. I don't know if he's a man of honor.
We're headed over in a boat to New Jersey to fucking duel.
I love those moments, by the way, where like everything's legal in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, to tell your son, shoot to the sky, and then be like, whoops, my bad. And then when it comes time for you, you do it again. I guess, it was granted, it was more like I think he was doing it on purpose, but like, 0 for 2. 0 for 2 in the worst fucking way. You never even shot your shot, dude. It's like, remember when Buck Showalter got criticized for the Orioles lost in the play-in game and he never used Zach Britton out of the pen? He was like, you left your best arm in the pen.
Oh, yeah,
If you lose in a duel and you never even shot at the guy, you're a fucking asshole. Twice. Your family got ravaged by duels because of your advice. So 10 dual commandments, make an 11th one. Don't listen to anyone who says to shoot your gun to the sky.
All right, my number 2. We're on 2, right? I'm gonna go with where is it? You'll be back. Yeah, you'll be back right there. I love
Which one?
I love the King.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He
You know
is
who he
awesome.
is?
No.
It's Jonathan Goff, who is Mindhunter.
Oh shit.
He's the star of Mindhunter.
Yeah, he looks familiar now. That's so great.
I had no voice, so I'm not even gonna try singing today. But
He's a great little like comedic relief though. Like when he's like, George Washington is just like giving up his power. I didn't know one could do that.
yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was allowed to happen.
John Adams. Oh, he's fucking awesome. And like I didn't realize that until watching on Disney Plus. Like, or no, you know what? It was today. I was reading an article just about him, how much he spits, and
Yeah, what's that about?
everyone's just like, yeah, he's a wet actor.
Wow, that's just what he does.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, is that like a knock on the king that they do that on purpose?
I think it's part. Like, obviously, like, when he's fucking holding Ford, he's not spitting as much. But like,
Right,
you're on
right.
stage, like,
yeah,
you can see, like,
projecting
he's so
and-
caked in makeup. and he's
Yeah,
like, got
you're
this
probably hot
messy
as
hair,
shit wearing
hot-
that
yeah.
under the lights and everything. Ugh.
But yeah, I didn't realize until I saw his name. Just like was like, we gotta talk about Jonathan Goff spitting. I was like, wait, that's the guy from my. Oh yeah,
And
no,
they
that
did-
makes sense.
Unless that's like a thing of honor, they did him dirty. Like they could have done a different edit. There was
Yeah.
there's one like camera shot where it's like his mouth like, overflowing. Like, geez, guys. Give me a song. I love Thomas Jefferson. I thought he was one of the best in the game. One of his songs.
What did I miss?
Oh, what? I
Yeah,
missed
yeah,
again?
yeah. So when he comes back,
yeah.
love that one. And the whole show, he's like high stepping. He's got like a very deliberate like dance to him, and I love like his swagger about like Paris and France and like I'm the fucking man and I'm back. What I miss is awesome. Thomas Jefferson, I thought was like
He was great.
I thought he like stole the show as like a side character, you know.
All right, I'll go with my number 3 is One Last Time.
Mm-hmm.
One Last Time's a sick song, which is actually also like very cool in the like when he's like trying to explain to him how he's like, no, I'm quitting. We're done.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
like,
out.
We're gonna do this one more time,
Yeah.
and I'm out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, well, is it before? He's like laughing at him. He's like, oh, like there's no way he'll beat you in
Yeah.
election. He's like, no, I'm not
I'm not even
running.
running. I'm out.
not running.
Yeah.
That was it's like, who is it? I don't think it's Hamilton who's doing the singing. I think it's Lamar Odom Jr. No, he's not in that song. I don't think.
Christopher Jackson.
I honestly probably wouldn't know the names anyway, but like when he just does the. I'm not gonna sing it, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna embarrass myself here.
Do it,
But-
John. Let it rip. You
And
can
he
be
just does
Hamilton, too.
the and one last time. I was like, oh god, he's got a beautiful fucking voice.
Yeah, I mean everybody on this like can sing and rap like a motherfucker. I'm gonna go. I don't know if I actually really like this song, but I thought it was like super important. and like really told the story well to me. The room where it happens.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Because it really, that one number when it's like focusing on Aaron Burr is like, you get where he's just like, I want to be at the big boy table. And like, what happened? How'd this happen? He's like, the three guys walk into the room. They agree to write 25 like papers. They write 75 and Hamilton writes 50 of them. Like, how the fuck did this happen? And I think that, like, it's not a song I'll go back and listen to, but in the play itself, I remember being like, oh, I get it now. Aaron Burr's like jealous and doesn't know what to do.
And that's also what John Bolton named his new book. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is not happy about that.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
John, I believe it's called The Room Where It Happened. Yeah, I think that's the name of the book. Okay. Guns and Ships, I think. That one where they're like fighting in Kips Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
That's the same guy that plays Jefferson, David Diggs. He comes out. Like,
He's
He's rapping with the French accent. It's fucking.
Yeah, wait, who's Lafayette? Is that
yes,
that's
same guy.
See, he was awesome as Lafayette too, with like the accent and like the he was so important with like the French help and all that shit. Yeah, that was awesome. Guns and Ships. Oh yeah, now yes. That number is fucking dope. I should have picked that earlier.
They have one song where it's like when they have like the beat is like the explosion.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Very
that's
cool.
Fucking fire.
All right, last pick for me here. I'm actually, what I'm noticing now, looking at this, is I like the first half of the show.
Oh, way better.
much more than the second half of the show. The actual like fight for independence, I think, was better.
I actually don't know if that's a common thing, but like I'm 1,000% on you with that. First half, you could just take the first half.
I think I'm gonna go with Alexander Hamilton.
It's a good one.
I mean, it's
See, fuck, dude. Now there's so many. There's still so many good ones.
You know what else I really like too? The Reynolds papers. Reynolds pamphlet, where it's just like he's like, just fuck it, I'm doing it, I'm writing it. I can definitely identify. You know what? That's my choice. That's my choice. The Reynolds pamphlet's my choice. When they're like, he fucking wrote this, he did what? He admitted to this, he copped to that, and the guy's going through the highlights, and like he's like, I did this, but I'm not fucking doing anything illegal. Reynolds pamphlet, 5th pick.
All right, final pick, dude. Okay, so I have for my final pick, I would like to take. I think "Blow Us All Away" is so good.
Yeah.
That's the son, right? That's Ramos.
I think I mean that you got to have him in there somewhere, right? Like his like a solo bit from the son is like.
I love Dear Theodosia is so good. Aaron Burr is awesome.
Aaron Burr's such a little fucking weed.
Yeah. You punched the Bursar? And also Satisfied still on the table. I still have my Skylar Sisters up there.
I like the songs that get weaved throughout too, and Satisfied's one of them.
Yeah.
You see it pop up multiple times. That's how you know that they were like, this one's a heater. We got to bring it back, you know? Final
I'm going to
choice.
Blow Us All Away. Blow Us All Away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very like hip-hop-y and very like when that's where he's I don't know if it's part of the song or the dialogue right before it, but when he's like, afterwards I'll come back and we can all strip down to our socks. And like, oh shit, little pimp. All right, so that's it. Lock it in. Top 5 Hamilton songs for each of us. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't seen it, I mean, you're out of luck, right? There's no way to see it now until it comes back. But definitely cosign. Go watch it. And let's get into our voicemails now. Brought to you by The Zebra. Not just any old zebra, The Zebra. It's like the Ohio State University. The Zebra has helped Americans cut over $21 billion in overpaying on car insurance. $21 billion in savings for this country because of thezebra.com. It's the nation's leading car insurance comparison site because it's the only place you can compare quotes side by side from over 100 providers and choose the best for yourself and your cars and your insurance needs in under 90 seconds. They won't sell your information, so you don't have to worry about getting like spam and email and calls. You just got to answer a few quick questions. Very simple, very easy. Fill out the form, and they'll find the best rates for you and the coverage in your state. It's almost like Priceline or Kayak for insurance, where you can see everything in one-stop shop, from car insurance to auto, home insurance, all that in one place, and you can find the lowest rate possible, which I keep saying I got to do because my shit's just way too expensive for no fucking reason. So if you felt like you were overpaying for insurance, which I know you have, because insurance just always feels like you're overpaying for it. It's just like, this is never going to happen. But it probably will. You'll probably need it, but make sure that you're paying the lowest premiums possible. Go to thezebra.com/KFC. That's THEZEBRA.com/KFC and start saving on your insurance today. That's thezebra.com/KFC.
What up, KFC and Fights? Matt, got a quick question for you. Who would win a fight between wizards and humans? So let's say humans have guns and everything. The wizards just have wands. Who would win if it was 1,000 versus 1,000? Let me know.
I mean, I think that wizardry and magic and witchcraft can outperform any like artillery.
I don't know about that.
I guess I'm not well versed enough in wizardry, but like, all right, you fire like a nuclear warhead at me, and I just fucking hit you with that Doctor Who, like whatever, what's his name in
Strange.
Doctor Strange, and I open up a portal, and the fucking warhead just goes to another world.
Well, that
See you
I
later.
guess
Or I can make a shell, and boom, I'm protected. Like I don't think.
I hear wizardry and I just think Harry Potter, and I'll tell you what, I think Harry Potter, we fucking run their show.
Yeah, those guys are clowns.
If we wanted to take Hogwarts,
Bro,
we could take Hogwarts
I'm thinking
in 5 minutes.
Gandalf.
Like
I'm thinking the White Wizard coming up over the fucking hill in the battle of what's it called in Lord of the Rings? I know you know it, Nick. The one.
the liege.
Yeah, something like that.
Fuck. I do
No,
not.
Helm's Deep.
Yes, Helm's fucking deep. He's coming over
I
the
haven't
hill.
even seen the movie, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what's that. He's got that staff, and he's the White Wizard.
I was
and it's
thinking
like,
Minister. That's a third one.
no, you idiot, you idiot. But just like I boom, I click a staff on the ground, and like a whole like shockwave knocks everybody out.
All right, so yeah, I guess that stuff. I haven't seen that one. Again, my mind goes Hogwarts, and
Those little bitches.
I could take Hogwarts with like a 9mm. I see him and Snape like fucking do these little
They're
fucking
dancing.
bullshit. Yeah,
It's like
you
a
show
Broadway show.
One little blue light at me. Fuck off, dude.
Oh, you could become
Done.
invisible or whatever. Fuck you. I'll shoot you with an
invisibility
AK.
cloak. Not even you don't even get to become invisible.
Right.
You have to make sure
You're behind a blanket.
You ever try and hide behind a fucking curtain?
Doesn't work.
I see a foot. I'll see a foot
That's
sneaking
so
around
true.
me, Harry
That's
Potter.
so true. You got to be like completely underneath this blanket. Ain't happening.
no.
dude. And eventually you coming out, and when you do, I'm shooting you with my fucking gun. But I'm thinking more like black magic, like Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, warlock type shit.
In that case, I will recant, and I will go with I'd like to have the magic.
I think if
But I got to use a fucking Nimbus, if I got to fight a Nimbus,
fuck that.
I'll fucking take the guns.
Yeah, that's Harry Potter. Harry Potter didn't do any wizards any fucking favors. You know? And if you were a wizard before Harry Potter, you're like, come on, I swear we're cooler than that. I swear we're tougher than that. Now, but if it's like 1,000 humans versus like, I don't know, like 10 or like 50 wizards, then maybe, if you have heavy artillery and shit. But, if the wizards ever just decided to like fight the planet and we were like, well, Independence Day type shit, like the whole human race is fighting together, I don't know, they'd probably be in trouble. You can't like stop every fucking nuclear from hitting.
Yeah, like what do? You just go under a fucking thing, but then you can't fight. You
could play great defense. I don't know. Unless
you get hellfire just rained on you nonstop.
Unless you can just like kind of do the same thing and like snap a finger and do it. We have to mobilize and get a plane, fire this and that. If you can just like do it with your fingers in zero time.
I mean, Voldemort could do that shit. Voldemort,
technically he's a wizard.
He's got that last one where he's like just kind of standing outside Hogwarts doing like the fucking this thing in Virginia.
Well, he also
like
he can turn to a gigantic snake. Like if you can just like take the form of whatever you want, you might be able to just fuck up.
I mean, what, a snake versus the army?
No, but if I was just like, I am now a human magical mountain. Like, so you're firing your gun like into my mountainside, and it's like that doesn't even affect me because I'm a mountain.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just don't know the limits of
I'm gonna
wizardry.
take wizards. I'm gonna take wizards just because of the fear of the unknown.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know what we got over here.
It works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't.
I know it's got its problems.
Right.
I know it's got its faults.
Right.
I don't know what's over there. I'm gonna go with that squad.
I think it's wizards in like 4. I think it's a sweep.
Really?
Yeah, if it's fair, 1,000 versus 1,000 people. I feel like a wizard kill 1,000 people in a snap.
Oh yeah, I missed that part.
Yeah,
but now you
1,000
say it, I remember it.
1,000 magical people versus 1,000 non-magical people.
Oh boy,
Fuck out of here.
Boy,
It's got to be like 1,000 versus 10.
I mean, even SEAL Team 6, I feel like, guys, we need numbers on this one.
It's a sheer numbers game.
This isn't fair at all. Like, we going in against Bin Laden, we were 6 against 1.
And and those were guys
Or
just like
8 against 1. I don't know how
hiding
many.
in a fucking cave. What about if you're going against guys that have
Wizards?
magic?
Like, yeah, that's come on.
Wizards in a landslide.
Can I ask you a
What's up,
question?
Kev?
How do you drink so little water? We've been sitting here for like 2.5 hours.
I
You
mean,
had like a half a bottle of water.
you
I've
drink,
had-
you
Bro,
drink
I've had-
more.
I've had 3.
I know. You
One of them is humongous.
This is I drink a little bit of water. Like I don't drink enough. But the problem here is not me. The problem is you. I should have finished this one. You should not be through 3.
I will tell you how many ounces of water I've had right now. 20.
I've had
30.
like, dude, I've had like 12 to 14 ounces during this. That's very normal. You're the weirdo.
I'm around. That was 33. I'm I'm up almost at 70.
In just this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not normal. How have you not peed?
I did pee. We stopped. I went and peed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
70 ounces of water in 2 hours. That's fucking cake.
that's
for me.
light work.
That is easy.
That is not normal.
I'll tell you, speaking of those wizards and shit, I'd love to see someone try and waterboard me one day. You wouldn't.
If I just
know.
nope,
I'd be like a fucking gerbil.
Heidelberg is unwaterboardable. Imagine that if the government was
You
just
know
like,
those gerbils, the ones that like they go
deep
viral
throat
for
that
like
shit?
sucking into the dick? I'd just be swallowing towels. Be like, what else you got, boys?
Heidelberg is going to be used by the government. Like, tell this guy all our secrets. He'll never give them up. You want to know where Kennedy, where the aliens are? Go. Not telling.
No, fucking suck a dick. I'm thirsty.
What, like a word, please. I'm a little dehydrated. Get me some more. Get a bigger bucket. You're gonna need a bigger bucket.
Was that in like the Equalizer? Oh no, Safe House, the Denzel Washington movie. When he's breaking down they're getting ready to waterboard him, and he's looking at the towels, and he's like, "Thread count's not high enough. That's not gonna work on me." like, you guys just brought in 2 buckets? No.
I'm gonna do it. Like stuff.
Seeing Feidelberg, first time, long time. I was inspired by you guys' top HBO picks, so I started to go back and watch some series. I'm halfway through Curb Your Enthusiasm now, and I just need like a tip on how to stop acting like Larry David, and if it ever is going to stop. Love what you guys do. Thanks.
Larry David is a little bit of Matrix, like red pill or blue pill, where it's like once you kind of open your eyes to like, oh, everything does bother me. Like, I agree. That's annoying. That's annoying. What else annoys me? This thing, that thing, and all of a sudden, there is something very liberating about Larry David, where it's like kind of David Price-esque, where it's just like, I don't fucking care.
Right.
And you are being an asshole, but it's kind of like everybody deserves to be a little bit of an asshole.
He is one of the few comedy stars who you treat like an action star. In the sense that when you go out, like you're like, I want to
wanna
my
be
life
Larry.
Like him.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because he
Yeah,
does.
nobody's ever like, I want to be Joe Bluth. You know what I mean? Like,
It's like it's a funny show, but it's funny. It's
real
with tons of confrontation, which is why you get that action aspect.
Right,
to it,
and that's real life action. You know, you're never gonna like fucking run in guns blazing. But what you are gonna do is have an awkward moment at the dinner table, and you're gonna bite your tongue, and you're gonna get in the shower the next morning and be like, I fucking should have said this.
Yeah.
I should have stood up for myself. I should have said fuck you. And that's what Larry does every time.
I'm sure I've told this before, but I remember reading an article with his girlfriend. Where she says that she lives the best life because she gets to live the life of Larry David, but doesn't have to be Larry David.
Yeah, he does the arguing for her. He speaks up for him.
She's like, we'll be out to dinner, and he just goes, gets up. That's it. We leave. That's how we leave. That's how we leave dinner. And everyone's okay with it because they're like, well, that's
Larry David.
Larry. Right?
It's the best thing you can do in life is reach that like point where you get the free pass.
Yeah.
It's Mary being Mary. It's Larry being Larry. And I think the joke almost usually is like your girl is the one who does the arguing, right? Like she gets on the phone with customer service while I'm in the back. Total opposite for her. She's just like Larry she probably doesn't even have to argue anymore. Larry comes in and they're just like, well, let's do everything differently. Because if we do things conventionally, Larry David will roast us for it. So let's just do everything we usually do the opposite of that, which is very Costanza-esque. It's very Seinfeld, very Curb, and it's very enviable.
Yeah, it's fucking.
So the answer is like, I mean,
No, you'll probably never like. There's a
You might not start acting on it, but like your brain will always like notice it now. You'll always think it. You know what would WWLDD? What would Larry David do? Is not leaving your body anytime soon.
You know who Larry David actually wasn't my first like comedian actor where I was like oh like that might be a fun way to live life. It was Dr. Cox, Dr. Perry Cox in Scrubs. He's comparable to Larry in the sense that he's like I'm just gonna say
Ron Swanson similar. There's a
Ron
couple guys
Swanson.
who are just like don't give a fuck. And it's like being an asshole is awesome.
This was great.
It's amazing. Somebody once told me, if you ever have the choice between being a sucker and an asshole, be the asshole. And you have to deal with the bad that comes from that too, but you don't want to be a sucker.
Who was that?
He's a therapist.
You know what? It's crazy how quickly life does go from like I've never once even thought the words my therapist says.
Yeah.
And
then
now
that's
I
all you
can't get
say.
through an hour of a conversation without it.
I feel like such a fucking asshole when I said, my therapist says. Like, well, my therapist says, I'm going to chop your fucking head off.
A guy I once know.
A wise man once said. I'm learning now. It's all every time someone says that, they're just talking about their therapist.
Hi, KFC Fights, BC, Nick. So I started watching Lost because of KFC talking about it and because my mom keeps nagging me to watch it. But I'm 21 years old, so my parents watched it when it was originally on TV. So I've picked up stuff that has happened from watching it when I was a kid. I don't even know how old I was when it was on. Do the math. So I was just wondering. So I know about like some key points, like Desmond and Penny, and like stuff that happens with Locke, and like Ben. I just finished season 1, so I know Ben's coming and that kind of stuff. So my question is, what do you think is worse, for little bits and pieces to be ruined of a great TV series like that, like big plot points and stories where like it's coming and so that's kind of ruined, or for like an entire movie or a series to be spoiled completely? Like, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel, first of all, Desmond and Penny, greatest love story of all time. Desmond and the Faradays need a fucking spin-off. If they just did a whole spin-off of that, it would be incredible.
I don't really remember it.
Oh, go back and watch it, John.
I am.
Desmond
I am.
is
I'm almost done season 1.
Awesome. Desmond is awesome. I think, much like we've said, cancel culture doesn't exist. I don't think spoilers do.
Oh, you're not. That's right. This is a new thing, though, isn't it?
Well, I think some things, the Sixth Sense type twist, that ruins a lot. But, there are plenty of movies where it starts off with like someone dead, and then it says like 72 hours earlier, and you watch the whole thing,
right,
and you're totally okay with that. It's like if you own up to the spoiler, it's okay. It's just how you told the story. You told it in reverse or whatever. So some things,
I also don't like. There's nothing where if I wanted to see it, you telling me like, oh, this is what happens. Maybe going. Now
so
I'm not gonna waste
I hadn't
my time.
seen.
I wanted to see it.
I didn't know that Hamilton's son died, and that got spoiled for me, and it didn't really.
Right
when it happened,
that was
like,
you.
Oh,
I was like,
fucking-
actually, it's like more interesting now.
Yeah.
Like, just wait till you see how the fuck he dies.
Right,
Like,
right.
So it's a more of a reason to watch.
Now, Lost is an interesting one. If there's a couple. I'm not going to spoil it here, but there's a couple like major plot points. If you know where they are, when they are, during flashbacks and stuff, if that gets ruined for you, it would hurt. It would hurt a lot.
I didn't realize how early the polar bear was. I thought the polar bear was like a big reveal.
I didn't realize how late Ben is.
Yeah, you said he's like mid-season 2, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, like, I remember being on campus the day after the polar bear reveal and everyone being like, there's a fucking polar bear. But I thought they lived life normally for like, a while. And then it was
right
like,
away, yeah.
And it was like, oh, wait, this island's magic.
Right,
magic. Like,
right.
I thought it was just like, oh, like.
No, I think that was the first thing that kind of gets them.
It's the second episode. Though.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, it's right away.
Right away, where it's like something might be going on this island. It's great. I paused on Lost to try to finish Dark. I have 2 episodes to go in Dark. I don't even know if I can, in good conscience, recommend Dark, because like I'm like it's like a life ruiner. It's so fucking dense. It's insane. And I
haven't seen like anyone talk about it except you two.
Oh, it's so good, dude. If you get, it's not like it's a loud but small fan base. Everyone who does watch it is like, this is one of the best shows ever, and it's like it's definitely one of the best time travel pieces of content like ever. It's comically complex. Yeah. It's like 5 different families, which like it could have just been 3. You don't need like 5 whole families of 5 people each. So you're talking about like 25 main characters that all exist in 4 different timelines. So there's like 100 characters because they all have different, like, this is me when I was 5. This is me when I was 25. This is me when I was 55. And they all interlock. I mean, you have a person who gives birth to their own mother. You have someone who their mother kills their own daughter. You have a father who is his son, right? Something like that. I mean, it is. They take all the rules and throw it out. Like, I remember thinking, my head kind of exploded when Marty McFly in Back to the Future 2 runs into the Enchantment Under the Sea dance and he sees himself there. And I was like, whoa, this is wild. And it takes that to the fucking 20 millionth power. It's crazy. And I have one episode to go. And I'm like, I don't even think I know what's going on anymore, but I just have to finish this. I don't even know.
In the last 2 episodes, they kind of tied together, like, real quick.
But season 7, episode 7, I could tell was like, we're doing the montage and we're showing you everything. And I was like, this is supposed to be an awesome moment, and I got nothing. Which is maybe like, I think like Westworld is like stupidly complex. This like it's only 3 seasons.
Westworld's not even stupidly complex anymore.
It's just not good. Yeah. This is super complex, and like the first 2 seasons, I was like, I kept with it. First half of season 3, I was with it. Second half of season 3, I was like, fuck, my brain just kind of like tapped out. But it's German too, so it's tough. But I do recommend it. It's only 24 episodes. It's like heavy watching, a lot of rewinding and shit like that. But you got to read along with it. You got to like look at character maps and shit. But it is, if you're up for the challenge.
I didn't look at any of the maps till the end, and then I was like, oh, I did.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, guys.
Yeah.
I'm out on a fucking show where I have to use maps.
I'm
out.
I wouldn't blame you. That's what I'm saying. I can't even tell you like, I need a recommendation. What's this? Like, this is a very niche thing that I think some people will love.
I need a camping kit to go with the show.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's true. It's tough. But if you do pull it up, we'll go to the next voicemail. But pull up like one of the dark character maps, just so John can see like just how complex it is. Because like again, you could have just done it in 2 timelines, not 4, and you could have done like 3 families, not 5, and it would have like cut down exponentially. The second to that, the penultimate episode. They jump in they do like 20 different time periods. It's absolutely ridiculous. But if you can keep up with it, I think it's no doubt. They did more in writing.
This is season 1. Oh shit, I didn't bring it over.
They did more writing in. I mean, that's nothing. That is nothing.
Yeah, that's season 1.
That goes that map right there probably goes 5 times over.
What?
Yeah,
it's insane. And look at the lines crossing over and shit. And they have these things like what happened to this person? They died or they ceased to exist. Like there's a difference. It's fucking wild. But I will say, I mean, in other shows that took like, season upon season upon season to intertwine and bring together and all that, they did in 24 episodes. 8 episode, 3 seasons. So some unbelievable writing from Dark if you can deal with the German and the headache. Let's just do one more voicemail. We'll wrap it up. This is a extra long episode.
What up, KFC Fights, Super Trooper BC, first time, long time. I was listening to KFC radio last week, and the celebrity question got me thinking, of celebrities, which profession is better in the sack? Athletes or musicians? On the one hand, athletes more likely going to be in shape, be able to go to Pound Town, but
I think this is a landslide for musicians.
This is
right.
What kind of crazy ass?
You got rhythm, you've got emotion, you've got romance, you've got
strength.
Heartache,
doesn't mean anything. You just like go to Pound Town. Like that's fucking.
They don't want that.
Yeah, you rather have Lenny Kravitz fucking make love to me rather than go and fucking have Khalil Mack just hammer down on me.
2 very good choices there. 2 very apropos representatives of those jobs. I mean, guys who can dance and sing and improvise and play the rhythm and like have the heartache to know what they've got. It's a good moment in the sack or experiencing this versus an athlete who's just like, I fuck hoes.
I'm in exceptional shape.
Right.
That's like
you're gonna like my abs.
I can
pick you up.
That's what you take. That's what you present. You're like this is what I got.
It's only gonna go downhill from here.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas musicians can be like, all right, that guy's got like a good voice. He can play the instruments. I like his lyrics, and also he's gonna like a musician will eat your pussy. Musician will fucking go down on you for a long time.
I mean, Lenny Kravitz had a fucking cock ring. No one in an NFL locker room's got.
Remember when that thing popped out?
That thing just came out fucking beautifully. Just like, it wasn't exceptionally large.
No.
It wasn't small either. But it was just.
It was solid.
It unfurled.
Yeah. Because like first of all, his pants were like leather and ripped, and his dick just was obviously no underwear. Just pow, there it is. You know what's so funny? It's almost like the constant from Lost and Faraday. The constant at Barstool is Lenny Kravitz. Every blogger has talked about how they wanted to fuck Lenny Kravitz. We all talk about how he fucks guys and girls, and he's just this sexual aphrodisiac. And his music's good, and his dick is good, and everybody here wants to fuck Lenny Kravitz.
He wore that scarf one time. That was just
the Lenny Kravitz scarf is my favorite thing ever.
It's one of the most iconic pieces of clothing ever.
It's my favorite picture on the internet, the Lenny Kravitz scarf. And when people do the Millmore where they Photoshop it just a little bit bigger, and I'm like, I can't tell. Is that the original or not? Oh, Lenny Kravitz, I will suck your dick, man.
Dude, Lenny Kravitz is a legend. He
really
is. Birthed legend, but he helped procreate
sired
a legend,
Zoe.
And then he's just like he's just boys with his wife's new husband, which is just such a Lenny Kravitz thing to do.
Because he's like, you can't compete with me.
Like you just like,
I know you're second best.
Like you're fucking man. Like we're like
he's just a guy. He walks into a party or a room and he just kind of is like, "What's up, man?" And you're just like, "Fuck, you're awesome."
Lenny Kravitz had a post that was like he telling Jason Momoa, "I love you, dude." like no one can do that with anyone but with their husband's wife. Except Lenny Kravitz,
especially when it's Jason Momoa,
right?
Like to have the confidence to be like, "Yo, Aquaman ain't shit. I can like give him some love and we're good." That is impressive. No jealousy there. No one-upsmanship with that dude, and it's motherfucking Aquaman.
I'm trying to find it because it's like I think it's the two of them and Zoe, and it's like him being like, "I love you for how you've helped me raise my daughter." Kind of deal. And it's like it's a fucking cool ass post. And it's
by the way,
Lenny Kravitz can do that.
Lenny Kravitz's ex-wife, she must throw down.
Lisa Bonet?
Yeah, to be like an older lady who's nabbing Momoa. Same thing with Jada Pinkett. Jada Pinkett and Will having that open relationship with that other dude. You heard about him? First of all, that's a snitch move to say that you fucked a girl in an open relationship like that.
Bro, they have matching rings. Jason Momoa and Lenny.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a level. Those people, they did celebrity right. So like Britney Spears, we'll wrap it up here, like bookending. Britney Spears, like her celebrity, like got to her head and her family and fucked everything up. Those guys were like, we're all so talented and so much above the fray that these normal things of jealousy and relationship issues and exes, like this does not even phase us.
I know.
Like, let's all be cool. And they all agreed to it, and they're all living the happiest lives ever. Just adopt me. Can I become a Kravitz, please? Fuck.
Did you see, speaking of Zoe Kravitz, why she did High Fidelity? She said she knew it was going to happen, and she loved the movie so much she didn't want him to fuck it up.
So like if someone's going to do it, it's got to be me.
As long as if it's getting done, fine, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not signing on until you greenlight this, you know? Wow, that's a flex. All right, that's it for us. Now we're going to wrap up with our interview with Mike Posner, who is one of the most interesting cats ever. From his days at Barstool, Back to Stool, where he was just performing like his new pop records as a young kid coming out of college, to his pilgrimage across the United States and like his epiphany as like an artist. I mean, one of the most eccentric, unique cats you'll ever talk to here on KFC Radio. Mike Posner, let's talk to him.
Yo,
what's up, man?
What up, dude?
Oh shit! I have my speakers on so loud.
There he is,
dude. How we doing?
Well, you're looking clean cut. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure if we were getting the beard and the long hair or trim or what.
Dude, I might go green on you guys.
Yeah, you've reinvented yourself quite a few times.
Wait, hang the fuck on. How many fucking carats is that diamond in your ear right now?
This is not a diamond. This is a quartz.
Oh yeah. You go like I don't do blood diamonds.
It's just a quartz. It costs like $10.
Fuck's up, man. How you been?
I'm chilling. How are you?
I'm great. I'm about to win the fucking EPL right now, and I don't want to do it this way.
It's this European soccer league that John is pretending to be a fan of.
Oh, why is he saying he's gonna win?
Well, what are you talking about? Because I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not pretending. By the way, I'm not
Dude,
pretending.
that means your team won. You didn't win.
Yeah, I know, Mike.
You saw how he phrased it, Kevin. He said, I'm about to win, bro.
Listen, I'm with him too.
You are sitting on your butt talking to me, bro. You're not fucking. You didn't fucking.
I didn't do
nail
shit.
any headers off a corner
I didn't do
kick.
shit. I didn't do anything, but I'm about to win, and I don't want to win it this way. I want Liverpool to win by like scoring goals, and we're not going to. We're about to win it by just fucking not losing games. It sucks. But how the fuck you been, man?
I'm good. Can't complain, man. Where are you guys at?
We're both in New York. He's in our office. I'm back up in my. I'm at home in my apartment. I've been here for the last 3 months. So you got your whole pilgrimage, your whole trek in right before shit went down. What would have happened if would you have stayed out there walking if everything popped off?
I don't know. I definitely thought about that, man. It's just a lot to think about. I mean, I've been thinking about like if I did my walk across America, if I was black, I've been thinking about that too, because the police would get called on me pretty much. I won't say incessantly, but like probably 10, 15 times, to the point where like every time we get to a new county, we just start calling the police on ourselves to like let them know we're coming.
You think that would have happened?
Would you have done that? You think you would have like given a heads up?
No, I'm saying I already had to do that.
You did?
Being white, I did that because people are just like, who the fuck is this guy? Like we know everyone in this town. Who is this guy? Mm-hmm. So cops, I dealt a lot with the police. They come out and say, hey, what are you doing? And I tell them what I was doing, and they usually like take my ID and then send me on my way. But like, you could just imagine being in fucking Western Kansas or, real rural Ohio and that situation not going that way if I had darker skin, man. So I've been thinking about that too. It's like,
dude, I always think about that.
I'm most well known for. Sorry, just butting that point up. But like one of the things I'm most well known for is my walk across America. And it's like, man, like if I was black, I did that, my might died, Mm-hmm. So I've been thinking about that too.
It is a tough one to like. The crazy thing is like, you think about it and you're like, that would be weird, but that's exactly how it would go. Like, you're right.
I guarantee it wouldn't have been like, hey, have a good day. I would have been fucking sitting there for a while. You know what I'm saying? At the very least,
it's hard to like, it's hard to put your mind in that like place because it's just something we don't deal with at all. But that's like, it would go that way. Like, it's crazy that it would go that way.
100%.
Were you always like? I feel like when you first came out, do you remember, by the way, like working with Barstool back in the day?
Vaguely, like there was some show that went wrong or some shit. Something happened.
Yeah, when you first came out, when Cooler Than Me like first blew up, we were doing like a little like small time concert series, and you were one of the good ones. We worked with a few acts that like kind of it didn't work out, but everybody was happy with you and your performance. I guess it wasn't too memorable for you, but we all very fondly remember it because it was one of the first times we put a little bit of money in our pocket. But when
Where was it?
The Mullins Center, which is where's that fights? Is that UMass? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought something went wrong or something. I thought Barstool hated me or something.
It wasn't you. Chitty Bang did not go so well. There was one act that like didn't go on stage and demanded their money back and all that shit. And there was no problems there. So the show, it had some drama, but it was not Mike Posner related. We all very fondly remember that song and that moment because it was good for us. But when you first came out, and Cooler Than Me was like this like rap pop song. And I mean, I remember being surprised when I learned how like introspective you were, and like something like doing this walk across the country. Like I don't think I saw that coming based on like what your original single was. Were you always the type? Like, did you always kind of have this plan to do some like unique shit?
Well, I mean, to start off, it's tough when you're artists. I mean, I don't want to be complaining because I really got nothing to complain about. But you gotta understand, in my life, I've made thousands of songs. Most of the songs I keep on this computer I'm talking to you on because I don't think they don't meet my bar of excellence, just to myself. Then, but I have hundreds of songs that I've released. And for whatever reason in my life, I've had, I think, like 5 or 6 songs, some that are my own and some that I've written for other people. They just get really fucking popular. And I don't know why. I don't know which one it's going to be, whatever. but it's like this thing you just wrote one day, and it's how you're feeling. Not how you're feeling that whole day, is how you're feeling that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it may sometimes it's not even how you're feeling. The thing just comes out. It can almost feel like come through you, comes out. And so in my situation, you know, I have like, you know, 2 really popular songs that I've sung. Again, I've written some other ones for other artists. And they're just disproportionately popular to like my body of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you listen to like all my music, all my poetry, read my book of poetry, these kinds of things, listen to my podcast, you know, like you have a better idea of who I am as a human. But like to just hear one song that I made, like, yeah, that's what I'm best known for. I understand. I'm not complaining at all. Like that song, like, you know, it's changed my life in a lot of ways. But it's just not like it doesn't cover the spectrum of who you are as a human being, you know.
Do you think your best songs have been your most popular songs?
I think my 2 most popular ones are Cooler Than Me and I Took a Pill in Ibiza.
Right.
Both those songs, when I wrote them, I was like, yeah, I'm really proud of this. You know, I have no idea they're going to be popular or not, but so I think both those are good songs for sure.
Yeah.
Like, there's some other ones I think maybe are a little better just from like a writer's perspective, you know.
Have you taken a pill in Ibiza?
Yeah, for sure. I try.
No,
Yeah.
all right. So we were talking about this the other day on the episode where like I'm in New York right now, and like drug dealers have been walking by like outside bars, and they've been like, "Yo, who wants coke? Who wants whatever?" Would you buy a drug off like some random dude walking by an outside bar?
Well, I'm like pretty much I don't drink or.
All right, but you're sober now. But would you have
back then?
Back then, shit, I don't know, man. I'm never like going too heavy with that stuff, but there's a whole story to that night. I was in Ibiza with Avicii, and you know, ended up making some kind of silly decisions. But
well, come on, go on.
I mean, it sounds just like the song. I mean, is it just the lyrics?
What kind of decisions were we making?
Basically, the decision was fucking be wasted and then take a pill from a stranger. You know, that's the decision I'm referring to.
Yeah, been there.
Did Avicii think you were cool?
I think so, man. Like the thing I loved about Tim was he actually like before I even I don't think I had a record deal or what, but like I was still in college, you know, right around the time you're talking about we did that show. He somehow heard my stuff, and he was just like kind of bubbling up, and he sent me levels before it was out and was like, man, can you write to this? And I guess he just liked my stuff. And I wrote a few songs to levels. It was the track before it had the sample. So it didn't have, oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. It was just the music.
That was a flex. Fuck you, by the way, for that.
Fix that in
there. So I got it. So I just wrote a few songs to the track, and they actually kind of sucked. I didn't nail it. And so he ended up not using what I did, and he ended up using that sample instead. But we just kept in touch, man. And you know, it's crazy. Like with music, there's, at least in my experience, it's a lot of ups and downs, you know, like, so with, you know, kind of, I didn't answer the second half of your first question, Kev. Like, I kind of came out the gate and shit went like really well for me, you know. Like my first single was this song Cooler Than Me, and it was this big song over the world. I'm getting paid more money than I probably deserve. I'm taking my shirt off at shows, you know, like living like
you were ripping the shirt off.
Oh yeah, I'm living
I love that. Were you in shape enough to be taking it off?
Fuck yeah, or else I wouldn't have took it off, man. I got a little self-awareness over here. Well, man,
no, there are plenty of people who take it off. They shouldn't be taking it off. Just, yeah.
Then you gotta just admire the courage then. But man, I was kind of just like living out, you know, I was in fraternity at Duke. I was living like a frat boy dream, you know. And what happened was my songs that I put out after that kind of got progressively less popular, to the point where I was what we call in the music industry shelved. So that means like I'm making a lot of new music at home and in the studios, but the record label's looking at it like, hey man, the last shit you put out didn't sell that good, so we're just not going to put your music out because we can't justify paying the producers, paying the marketing costs, etc. We just don't think it's going to return our investment. So we're just you're basically caught in a holding pattern, and they own your music and you're stuck. So that's where I was, man. After I had this big hit, I'll basically like at home with nothing to do, calendar's empty.
How's that feel? Like,
I mean, at first it was horrible, like, because my identity had gotten so wrapped up in being cool and being the popular guy, being that dude, that once that got taken away, I didn't know who the fuck I was.
Now, are you rich at this point?
Yeah. I had made money. And thankfully, like, I hadn't bought a bunch of Lamborghinis. I'm not saying like I was like Drake, but I, for a 24-year-old guy, yeah, I had a lot of money for sure. And so I'm just sitting there, I have this money, and I go, what the fuck do I do now? And I had to figure out who I was if I wasn't popular, who I was if I wasn't the guy with the hit song, who I was if girls weren't chasing after me. And it was like the best thing ever happened to me. I decided, like, hey man, I'm not popular right now, but I still really love music. And I still you see my mic right here, like I make music the same way I did when I was 8. So I just doubled down. I started taking lessons on singing, and started taking lessons on guitar and piano. I didn't play any instruments, even though I already had a hit. So I just started learning how to be a real musician. And that's like, Kev, to answer the second part of your first question, that's when that growth, I think, in that a little more depth came into my life, to where I got to the point where I'm doing the things I'm working on now.
Do you think that's weird how, like, the idea of celebrity is like everyone feels the best when they're out of it?
You mean everyone feels the best when they're done with it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like once you're done, be like you said you found yourself when you like weren't a celebrity anymore, or not anymore, but you know what I mean, right? Where it's like I didn't have that constant stream, and like I feel like every celebrity is like, that's when I fucking realized how life works.
You found yourself or learned.
Yeah, I think you just failure. Even you can zoom out a little bit. Just failure is really important, and you can really learn a lot about yourself in those times. And so it was really good for me. I became a deeper person for that, for sure. And then like the ironic thing is I wrote this song basically about that, about like being famous and then it not being famous. And that was what I Took a Pill in Ibiza was about. And then that ended up being a bigger song than Court. So that was kind of messed up.
Was a fucking smash, dude. That was a hit. That was like next level big type song, right?
Yeah, it was the original song is like an acoustic guitar song. And I have one of these great guys in Norway, they did a remix of it.
So how does that work? Like, obviously it's still your song, but like their remix is what pops off, but it's still your music. Like that's still your money, your success, your everything.
Yeah, basically like my record label, I was like living in my van at the time just because I wanted to like do van life for a while before that.
You want to do van life?
Before van life was a thing, I was living in my van.
That's some rich person shit. Like, I want to live in not a house.
I want to be homeless for a little bit.
It's the stupid shit white people do. That's what my he's like, what the fuck, man? And so yeah, they were like, hey, can we get a remix of this song? My A&R is Matt Duiardini, or then A&R is Matt Duiardini and Zeke Silvera. I was like, yeah, man, I don't care. Because I came up doing a lot of remixes. When I was in college, I remixed like Adele songs and Beyonce songs, and a lot of people's. So whenever somebody wants to remix mine, I don't care. And so basically they take the acapella, the vocals I recorded for the first song, and get rid of all the music. and they sped it up, made it faster, and then they created all new music around it. And they did a really good job on it, man. It's like made this really cool, like brand kind of new song out of my song.
Yeah.
And the thing started to get popular in their country first, like in Norway. And it just spread from there, man. It just spread from there.
And when did you decide to start this trek across the country?
Well, that was something I was thinking about for many years. I actually heard somebody mention it for like 5 years ago. And right when I heard it, I went, "You can do that? I didn't know you could do that." And they're like, "Yeah, my friend did it." I was like, "Whoa." I just knew I definitely wanted to do it. And it just called to me right away. I didn't really have to think about it. But what happened was, Kev, I just put on the back burner. You know how life just keep coming at you. And I was basically like following this plan of like an artist, what I'm supposed to do. So I make an album, then I go on tour, then I come back, make another album, then I go on tour, then I make another album. You get the idea. Mm-hmm. And so every year something would come up, and a walk across America strategically, it should start in the like early or late winter, early spring. You walk through, because you can do it in 6 to 8 months. So the idea is you do it not in winter. So you start right when winter ends, and you hopefully end before winter begins again. And so it was like every spring, you know, something would get in the way, and I kept putting it off. And really what happened was, man, was my dad died. And then a little bit later, Avicii died. And I just realized, you know, I'm going to die one day too. You know, hopefully not anytime soon, but you never know. And I'm only getting older. I was 31 at the time, 32 now. And I just realized, you know, if this is something that I want to happen in my life, I want to be part of my life story, I'm going to have to do it now, or I'm just never going to fucking do it. And I just decided, man, like I got so sick of watching podcasts and watching documentaries and being inspired and not being inspiring. I got so sick of that, you know, just sitting there hearing about these great stories and then not doing anything. And so I just wanted to be, you know, people ask, "Why'd you do your walk?" I just wanted to be proud of myself. You know, if somebody said, "Who's your hero? Who inspires you?" I want to be able to look them in the eye and say me, you know. And so I'm basically living out, kind of trying to live out my own hero's journey.
What's that feel like to be proud of yourself?
It's great, you know, and it moves. It's a target that moves. It's a funny thing that happens. You put yourself in kind of, and I'm sure you've experienced this in your own way. No, here, just let me finish my point. You know what I'm talking about. So you put yourself in a certain type of community, like you make a decision, like I'm gonna walk across America. Well, just by making that decision, there's a new community around you. So by me making that decision, I ended up meeting like probably 8 people that were either walking or running across America at the same time I was. Yeah, and pretty much all of them were harder than me. Pretty much every single one. They were doing it faster than me. They were doing it with less support than me. They were doing it with less fanfare than me. They were all better than me, basically. So what I meant was, you know, you have this successful podcast now. So you're in a different community, even in the Barstool community of a super big pod, you know what I'm saying? So you start getting around different people, so you get inspired in different ways.
Dude, see that? Like I love meeting new people, but I'm always scared to do something like that. Like that terrifies me because I know I'd want to quit. When did you want to quit?
Well,
like you wanted to quit. When was the first time you wanted to quit?
Well, it's a great question, man, and you alluded to fear. Fear's a big part of this. I don't want anybody to listen to this and just think, you know, I decided to walk across America one day and just did it. I was super scared, man. I was super scared before I started. I told everyone to do this thing, and I didn't know if I could do it. You know, I didn't know if I'd make it to there. So I never done anything like that before. And it's no way you can really practice. I mean, you could go walk around.
You walked before, though.
You could go walk around. You can go walk around LA, but it's not good. You know what I'm saying? So the only way you really find out if you can do it is to try. So I was scared, man. And the beginning was was kind of easy because I was easing into it. Like the first day, I think I only walked 8 miles. But you start doing the math and you're looking at like, fuck, man. If I go that slow, I'm going to be in the Rocky Mountains in the middle of winter. You know, this is where I don't want to be. So I thought I was going to have like more of a hippy dippy, like real loose. I meet some cool people. I kick it with them for a week. But it ended up being the opposite. It was an exercise in discipline for me. You just had to show up. It's raining, great, show up. You're tired, great, show up, walk. Your fucking feet hurt, you could barely stand up, great, show up, walk.
Get bit
To
by
answer
a
your
fucking
question, man,
rattlesnake, show up, walk.
Yeah. Well, so
The fact that you went back after the rattlesnake is crazy. I feel like if you would have bowed out then and been like, listen, I tried, I had to relearn how to walk, you know, it is what it is. But you went back out there like a goddamn lunatic.
Well, here's the thing, man. So I didn't really answer. The first time I really wanted to quit, John, was, let me rephrase that. I never wanted to quit, but I thought I wasn't going to make it, was when I reached Kansas. So I started in New Jersey, and basically,
Dude, that's so far. That's so far.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. At that point, maybe, but it's not halfway. It's like 1,000 miles plus. But
No, it doesn't matter if it's halfway. That's so far.
It's just, let me
Get
try
into
to break down the
Kansas.
psychology. To break down the psychology of this, man. So I was cruising across the Midwest. Those states are smaller. Like Indiana, I think is like 108 miles wide or something. Like, so I crossed that in like 8 days. I crossed Indiana, fucking feel, ooh, you know, and it's June. I never knew the difference between June and July before. You know, it was all summer to me, but July is way fucking hotter than June. So June, I crushed like Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, like pretty fast. And I got to Missouri. So across the Missouri River near St. Louis, walk through the suburbs of St. Louis, and then I get on what's called the Katy Trail. And at the time,
St. Louis is a wild spot, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't really in St. Louis. I walked kind of in the suburbs of it, and it was. You look back on the time, the Missouri and I think the Mississippi River both were just flooded to all hell.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want to. Let's put it in perspective. Like, it's people losing their homes, shit like that. You know, so let's put my story in perspective. Like, but I'm supposed to be walking on this trail called the Katy Trail. It used to be a railroad, and it runs next to the Missouri River. And that shit, like, man, I'm just going, and then like I'm up to like my ankles in water, and then I'm like, all right, well, maybe just be like this for a little bit. Then I'm up to like my knees in water. I'm up to like my fucking hips in water. I'm like, I gotta get off this fucking trail, man. You know?
Like, why didn't you walk somewhere else, dude?
But that's the thing, is like making a small adjustment. It's not like your car where it's like 10 extra minutes. Is like you're going. So what I end up having to do, like, I have full days where I'm walking the wrong direction. You know,
Hang on, you could have walked on the side, no?
Dude, it's not like that. Like, it's just flooded. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to make this turn, and there's no road there. It's a lake, like a full lake, and sometimes the water's running. It's dangerous. You know, like,
So you just walk through a lake.
Like, there's trees and shit going by, bro. Like, in the water. Like, you know what I mean?
When you're doing this, are you like,
you can't cross? So
with you for a little while, like, do you have people with you in case some shit really goes wrong, or are you like on your own?
I walk supported, which is really important. And I always say that I respect for these other hard motherfuckers, men and women who just walk with a backpack or a cart. So the way I did it was, I had a buddy, and we had an RV. It would go ahead of me each day. And basically I'd be by myself when I walk, and then I'd catch up to it. And then the guy would like get food, and usually we'd sleep in that, unless like I was in the mountains or the desert, and I sleep in the tent because the RV can't drive there. But basically, so I'm in Missouri. Missouri is just a shit show, man. It starts getting hot, and it's like a heat advisory, 100% humidity, all this shit, man. It was really hard, and I kept telling myself, like, just make it to Kansas. I kept saying that to myself, like, just make it to Kansas. And so what happened was, eventually I did make it to Kansas. It took about 3 weeks to cross Missouri for me. And when I made it to Kansas,
so much time.
When I made it to Kansas, it was this beautiful moment, as you imagine. Like, I started crying, like I fucking made it to Kansas. No one knows how hard that was, etc. And I went to bed that night. It was the end of my day, right across the border. And I felt very accomplished. But what happened? The next morning, my alarm goes off 4 a.m. just like every other day, and I had to walk again. And what I realized was I had created this sort of false finish line in my head, which was Kansas. My goal wasn't to make it to Kansas, it was to make it to Pacific Ocean. And when I got to walk that next day, it was like, man, I just had nothing left. It was like my body was fucked up. Like it just felt horrible, man. Like I just like could barely make it. Like woke up in the morning, I could like barely stand up, man. Like my body hurt so bad. And my mind just started running with that, you know? So it's like you have this horrible sensation, pain in your body. And my mind started going, bro, you're not even halfway. You're fucked. You told everyone you're going to do it and you're fucked. Like if you're this bad now and you're not even halfway, what makes you think you'll ever feel better than this? You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to walk more miles. So that's what my brain was doing. And so I remember that day was the hardest day. Like I didn't want to quit, but I felt like I wasn't going to make it. What I had to do was separate reality from my story about reality. It was two different things. So reality, my body hurt, there was pain, it was hot, etc. That's facts. That's what's really happening. But my story was, hey, this means you're not going to make it. I was taking reality, making a mental story about it. So I had to separate those two. I took a day off and I just rested, try to recover, and then do one more day and get rid of this story. And so that's what I did. Eventually kind of bounce back and then you just try to build on your past successes. So I always count how many miles I went. Like first time I went 100 miles, like I walked 100 miles. It's less than 1% of the journey. It was 100 miles, you know? And so you just try to keep building like that.
Yo, I got a question, and this is a random question. I just thought of it right now. Why are your fingernails on your right hand long and your left?
Yeah, it's a question I get a lot. So it's for the guitar. So basically, when I hold the guitar like now, you know, this hand, you have to hold the strings down. So these nails need to be short. And then this hand, you know,
those are some claws, bro.
Yeah.
So when you
don't need it to play guitar, but there's a certain type of sound you get when you have nails. So
that's what my girlfriend says too.
When you got bit by that rattlesnake, I remember on this show we joked that you should have had to start back from the very beginning. You drove back to the point that you got bit by the rattlesnake.
Yeah,
you were like, "Nah, you're cheating." If you had to start all the way over again, would you have been done?
If that's the commitment I made before I started, I would have honored that. That's the whole thing. You know, there's no rules to something like this. Right. So it's not like playing soccer or basketball. You know, NBA sets the rules. With this, like I already alluded to, there's a lot of people that did it in a harder way. Like it's people running. I mean, I met some of them. They're amazing, bro. They're running 40 miles a day with a big backpack.
How do you meet them, by the way? Like do you see them? Or like-
a lot of times, because you know, from who I was, you know, just being a musician before, I got a fair amount of press from doing it. So a lot of them just reach out to me, you know, on Instagram and stuff. And so, yeah, it's one guy, like 2 days before I got bit by a snake, it's one guy, Stevie, he was running the opposite way. And we spent a day together. I mean, that guy was amazing. He did it way faster than me with no support. So here's the thing, man, to answer your question, Kev, is like, I think you set the rules for yourself when you start. You know, mine was I'm gonna walk supported. I'm not gonna skip no fucking steps, right? There's one line that goes across. Right. You know, sometimes at night, where I stopped walking would not be, I couldn't sleep there. So a lot of times, and this was cool with me, a lot of times I would go to that spot, I touch a sign with my pole, then I drive the RV to that sign again, I keep going. That was my rules for me, you know? So as long as I had integrity with myself, it was one fucking day we went to bed and we moved the RV like 10 feet. We were blocking this shit and I forgot in the morning. I just walked. I missed like 10 steps. So I walked that day and I was like, man, we got to fucking go back, get those 10 steps. Yeah. Can you imagine just knowing that? Like I skipped those 10 steps, you know? So I think like, I don't know, like so I was already like, you know, getting in cars a lot, you know, to go sleep somewhere and come back. So to me, to go to the hospital, I had to go home to rehab. I didn't look at that as like a breach in integrity for myself. And that's all that matters to me. You know, it's like other people, they ride a bike, you know, that's cool. They say, I'm going to ride a bike, and they fucking do what they say. I think as long as you do what you said, then that's great. You know,
I don't think I realized how bad the snake bite was. Like, you had to like relearn how to walk, huh?
I didn't realize it either, man, because this is why they have a medicine and it's called anti-venom. So when I hear that word anti-venom, I think you get it and you're all better.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, man. I thought I was going to go to the hospital, get the anti-venom, and I thought I'd just go the next day, keep walking. So they were like, first off, I'm fucking, the snake bites me, man. And I'm sitting on the side road in the middle of nowhere in eastern Colorado, flat part of Colorado. I'm 30 miles from La Junta and like 60 miles, I think, from, I forgot that town's, I can't remember the next town's name, but 60 miles from the next town on Colorado 10. And it's like, man, we didn't have service. So the one guy ran up, he like was able to call 911. Like he got like a bar, and then
Jesus.
And it doesn't really hurt that bad at first. So I'm like fucking around trying to like keep the mood light. And then about 10 minutes later, the venom starts go through you. And it's like, remember the Looney Tunes at the end where the thing goes, that's all, folks. If that's exactly how it felt, like my consciousness was just getting darker. This was my real sensation. It was just getting darker, closing in like that. And I would like kind of wake up like, fuck. And I realized like, man, this is no joke. And so we're talking to 911 lady. I was like, she said, hey, you know, I sent ambulance from one town, ambulance from the other, and a helicopter, whatever gets there first, get in it. And by the time I had felt that sensation a few times, I asked her, you know, like, am I going to die? And she said, I don't know, sir. I can't tell you that.
Jeez.
She didn't even lie to you?
Yeah, lie to
you. And then I looked it up later. In the U.S., almost nobody dies from snake bites. But like, you have to get that medicine, though. Like, if you don't get the medicine, you die 100%.
So, like, if that dude didn't get that bar of service, you're done.
Well, yeah, I walked with and I'd still climb mountains with. Now I have a Garmin InReach, which is like a satellite thing that I guess you can hit a SOS button. Thankfully, I've never had to. But anyways, they got me to the hospital, and they told me very quickly, like, you're going to be here for a while. You know, people lose their legs from this. It doesn't look like you're going to lose your leg. Like, you look good, but we got to make sure. And yeah, man, I went from like walking, at that time I was walking 24 miles a day, and I couldn't walk to the bathroom. My legs swelled up like this big. And, you know, at the time they were saying, like, a couple of doctors, like, you could take like 6 months for you to recover, or 8 months. And so I didn't know, you know, I think it does, you know, if you're older, you're not in good shape, I think it could take that long. But I was able to recover. It took me about 3 weeks to where I was able to go back to that spot where I got the bite. And then I had about 1,000 more miles to go. And, you know, that's the best part of the snake bites. People always want to talk about the snake bite story because it's like, I got hurt, you know, but the main point of that is that, you know, finish what you started, you know. So
what's next for you?
Did it.
You're doing Everest next, right?
Definitely got some mountains. That's what I'm focusing now, mountaineering. So that's what I've been working on.
I've seen the movie Everest. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, you already got like a big ass accomplishment. Just fucking like stay in the studio and hang out, man. Relax for a little bit. Jesus.
Yeah, I feel you. So I mean, I have like a kind of a long. I think it's actually on my website too. There's like a lot of things I want to do in my life, and most of them are, you know, either spiritual or artistic or intellectual pursuits, things I want to study. And then there's a few athletic ones. One was the Walk Across America. So, you know, just strategically, I kind of want to knock out the athletic ones now. Like I said, I'm only getting older. I'm in my 32 now, only getting older, bro.
All right, yeah. So you're a little bit older than me. You're 32. I'm 31. I'm gonna do all that shit by the time I turn 32.
Cool.
I'll have a couple hit records.
Bro, you could just watch me the way you watch fucking Liverpool, man. You get it.
Yo, we won the league, baby.
Congratulations, Sean. How does it feel?
You got any music coming out or what? What's the latest with that? Are you doing music while you do these things, or do you put music on hold?
Yeah, I mean, actually, the year that I walked across America last year, 2019, I actually released 2 albums. So it was a really productive year. And in the quarantine, yeah, I've made a lot of music. But basically, I've kind of like created my own lifestyle. You know, most of the artists, they tour really heavy. I never made a ton of money from touring as it was. I made more money from writing, you know, my songs, and then also songs for other artists, you know, wrote songs for Justin Bieber, Maroon 5.
Is that hard? Is that hard to like be like, yo, I wrote this song, and like it becomes a massive song, and with like a Bieber of sorts. Does that hurt? Like, are you like, fuck, that's my song, dude? Or are you proud?
No, like I said, I said earlier, you know, us writers, like real writers, we've written thousands of songs in our lives, you know, and me, like, I can write anywhere in a year. I can write anywhere from like 50 to 100 songs. And I don't even do an album every year. Usually I do an album like in a year, but it's going to be 10 songs on that album.
Right.
So it's just a lot of songs that I'm not putting out, I'm not using. So if they make sense for other people, and usually I write the thing for myself and then I'll play it for other people, and then they'll kind of change it a little bit to make it their own. And so I think it's really cool, you know, when those things come out and when they're popular. You know, same thing, like you never know which one's gonna be. I've written a lot more songs that aren't popular, but it's cool.
Well, man, it's a fascinating story you've got. I feel like there's a lot more ahead of you too. You're a young dude. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when Mike Posner's like 71, not 31. I'd imagine the list of accomplishments is going to be fucking crazy, man.
I have a couple stories. I have to do part 2, and
yeah, for sure, man.
40 years, put it on the books, fucking 2060.
It's interesting story, man, and keep making that music. Stay out there, go on your grind, and stay safe, dude. Don't get bit by anything. Don't fall off a mountain. Just stay alive, okay?
You got it, man. You guys have a good one. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, it was just fun speaking with you. So have a good one.
No doubt.
Thank you so much, Posner. You too, bud.
All right, peace.